What's that for? That dancer is deadly. So it's on now. My biggest fan on I'm a Broncos fan.
Welcome, Dan.
All right. Good game going the other night and then threw away.
Broncos play the Vikings this year down in Denver.
Oh, really?
May I stay seated again? Thank you.
I've never been to a game in person.
Welcome, everyone. I call this Hermosa Town Board of Trustees Tuesday, September 19th, 2023, regular meeting to order at 6 p.m. Roll call. Ferguson,
Here.
Hendrickson,
Here.
Halsworth, Kramer,
Here.
Stiles here. Special thanks to the public for attending the meeting. Sure appreciate that. We'll all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 2 on the agenda, call for changes. A review of the current agenda items. I request a motion to accept the agenda as presented/amended.
So moved.
Motion by Dan, seconded by
I'll second.
Vicky. I will start the discussion. I see that item 13F needs to be removed. It was approved to be removed in the 5 September 2023 BOT meeting, and I missed it when I reviewed the agenda. Any further discussion? If no further discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say same. Motion carries unanimous. Item number 3, special items, meeting protocol. Again, comments need to be addressed to the chair. Board members will raise their hand and first be recognized by the chair prior to speaking. Each board member will be allowed to speak twice on each motion, but only after all of the board members who wish to speak have had their chance to speak. Board members will be allowed 3 minutes per speech. Public members will be allowed to comment once on each agenda item, after the board discussion has ended and just before the call for votes. Kind of a special comment here. What we want to do is, we need to vote loud enough so not only we can hear it, it gets to the microphone, but also the public can hear it. So please verbalize when you vote. Next item on the agenda is B. There's no special rule of order to adopt at this time. Item number 4, the consent calendar. I request a motion for approval of the September 5, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
I'll make that.
Vicky made the motion,
I'll second.
seconded by Donna. Any discussion? Any discussion? Not. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say same. Motion carries unanimous. Conflict of interest declaration. The chair sees 2 board members with conflicts on the below agenda. Don on agenda item 14G and 10B, D, E, and F. One of them has to do with the office contract, and the others has to do with permits that their family's putting in. Okay, and Linda, again on agenda item 8, B, and C. Item number 6, claims. Review of payroll and claims. I request a motion to approve the claims as presented / amended.
So moved.
Dan makes the motion,
I'll second it for discussion.
second by Vicky. I will start the discussion. Gail, did you get Miller Construction to provide the weight ticket?
I did, yeah. That's right. There. Right here,
Yeah, I'm looking at the date.
September 7th.
Yep, fine. Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? If no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say same. Motion carries. And I might not have said aye. Aye.
Good job.
Get me online. What's that?
I said I did say aye, but maybe it was quiet.
No, I didn't say
He
aye.
did.
Law enforcement abatement and complaints. Request Marshal Slade, Heeb, to come to the podium to give his report. Unless he wants to stand back there. His choice.
Recall service this week, nothing really major this week. I did have bad wreck out of town, county, and Highway Patrol and that, so I was asked a lot of questions about this week, but I don't know anything. It was outside the city. So the tasers have come in that we talked about before, but I'm missing a power cord, so I've reached out for the power cord. As Gail will attest, I got 5 boxes for 2 tasers, and it was missing a power cord. So we're working on getting that. I got the 2 AEDs that belong to Marshal's office up and updated and working well. Got a response back on the letter that we submitted to the state requesting authorization to have a reserve force. That meeting is going to be in Sioux Falls on the 25th of October to discuss that and hopefully get a decision in our favor. Mitch, I talked with you last week on surplusing some items. I changed out the tires on the Tahoe that I'm driving, and so I need to surplus those tires because they were bought with public money. And I would also like to request a surplus the other vehicle. I got it up, I got it running, but it has, and your folks have advised me of that, it's got some electrical issues when we got it, it's got some transmission issues. The electrical's to the point that even Jerry witnessed this, even if I shut it off, I can't get it to restart. It is overheating the electrical system so bad that it's burning the relays in it. In my experience with troubleshooting electrical, we may be deeper into the troubleshooting than the vehicle's worth. I did get an estimate to decommission the vehicle because all of the red and blue lights and decals need to come off that. That's going to cost about $1,000. And I know as we discussed last week, your interpretation was we need to get 3 bids. Did you look into
or
the
you can
auction?
do, yeah, you can do public auction.
Okay.
And you don't need all that.
My suggestion to y'all would be to do a public auction, because if I go to tire shops to get bids, most likely they're gonna charge us to take the tires, and then they're gonna try to sell them. Same way with the vehicle. They're gonna try to give you a wholesale price on the vehicle, so that they can make money when they turn around and sell it. If we sell it at an auction, it's gonna be actual cash value. It's gonna be what general people, the public, are willing to pay for that item. The only guy I know in town that's close and would have room to store some of this stuff until it fit in the right auction is Ramsey's Auction Service. And if that's the direction y'all want to go, I could sure meet with him and have a discussion on what it would cost the city to auction those items. But I believe the town has to decide to surplus those. Is that right?
Yeah, and when the auction occurs, we have to give public notice
Right.
above and beyond, if you're gonna have an auctioneer do it. Yeah, it's gotta go.
And that's the other problem with an auctioneer. What kind of crowd are we gonna draw, even with advertising?
I mean,
Can it be online? Auction?
good question.
You know, like your government surplus, it's all gone to online now. All
I
of the
think-
stuff
I
in
think you
military
will.
relations has gone to that. I think we're gonna hit a lot bigger audience if we go
Yeah, I
online
think
versus
that's okay.
an in-person auction.
Still have to put notice in the paper so they know where to, put their bids in.
I think, well, that's easily done. That's kind of the updates I got. Any question? School's been going good. I did get the unit marked this last week. I think that did help some with the out-of-towners coming through the school zone, seeing the marked unit up there at the top. I saw a decrease in the number of vehicles that were speeding. We did have an incident last week. Nobody got hurt. Out-of-state vehicle coming this direction, coming in the school zone at about 45 miles per hour. Took lights and sirens to get him to wake up. By the time they come to a stop, he was past that upper crosswalk. There was 2 teachers in the sidewalk, ready to enter the crosswalk. Went down and had a chat with him and made sure I got across the highway safe. That was the only close call, I guess you'd say, that we had in school zone that I'm aware of last week. It's still been my focus, so.
Okay, thank you. Well, go ahead, question.
I
Yes,
just heard good comments they've seen you around town,
Okay.
and they said, well, maybe he'll stop some of the speeders now, but you can't be there when Joe Blow is speeding and you're over here, you can't be every place at once. If somebody
And
says
that's tough, I mean,
it is tough.
and it's like I've explained to some folks, and I'll explain it to you guys too. If I'm sitting up here and somebody's speeding coming into the school zone, my intention there, I believe, where it needs to be, which is to get the kids and the teachers across the highway safely.
That's right.
I'm not gonna speed through that school zone to chase somebody down, and so if they're going this way, I'm not even stepping hard on the throttle until I get out of the school zone. I did stop one at the end of the school section, and I was the other side of the bridge. I was a mile out of town by the time I got them stopped. And the other problem is, if they got a warrant, or they do something, the warrant's going to jail, I'm out for 3 hours. The rest of the school zone is, there's nothing.
I think we need to think about the kids first.
And that's kind of where I'm leaning. I'm just trying to get people's attention, slow down, pay attention, coming through that school zone when the kids are crossing. I leave it alone once school's in. I understand. I watch it, I know what time the first kid comes across the crosswalk within 2 minutes of every day. They don't vary much. So I try to hit it hard and make a presence when they're actively kids crossing, and teachers, not just kids, but teachers too. Same way in the evenings. When the crossing guard leaves, that's a pretty good indication that she's got pretty much everybody across the highway that needs to get across the highway. So, yes, sir.
Yeah, you were, mentioned that you were gonna talk to the school, the principal up there about the length of time that the lights were on.
I
Are
haven't
they
got a
happy?
response back.
Oh, you haven't got a response.
And some of it doesn't add up to me, doesn't make sense. They say they run, I've heard they run the light late, and Chuck might have some more information on it. They run it late in the afternoon for the school bus coming back from Custer. But in the morning, that bus leaves before that light comes on. So, the rationale doesn't make sense to me. And by,
The bus,
the bell rings
Time the
at
bus
7:50 in the morning, and I stay there until all the kids go into school, which is about 7:50. But yet it runs for another hour or so. I don't know why, but I've watched. If anybody's got some insight, I'm more than willing to listen and learn. But no, I haven't got a response back on
Okay,
school.
thank you, sir.
To answer that question.
Chuck, don't you have it where you got that time set where you can change it back? All you gotta do is get with Chuck and you can get in the box.
And that's what I understand, but I don't want to put Chuck in a bad spot either. He doesn't run the school. He doesn't know when the buses show up and when they, to my knowledge, he doesn't anyways. I think that needs to be a school decision.
Yeah.
And I think it needs to be
I agree.
brought to Chuck and a conscious decision made by all of us that, in my opinion, I'm not disagreeing with you. I know Chuck can change it, but I don't want to put all the onus on him.
Well,
I think the school needs
I
something.
think Mr. Paris is the one that you need to talk to about it. And then go from there and contact Mr. Ferguson.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm sorry, Dan,
Nope, you're fine.
I just don't wanna put all the onus on him because I
Yeah.
don't know how much involvement you got with the school. I know a little bit I have, and even talking with the school resources officer, he's like, I don't know. So I kinda want, I'd like to get the horse to know.
Yeah, and getting something in writing back from
Yeah,
them.
that's what I'd like to get is a
Yeah.
proposal from them, what they actually want and why.
Any further questions? Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
add on there, I think in the evening, they don't really have a set time because they're bringing kids home after games, after practices. So, I mean, there can be a variety of times in the evening.
And I don't disagree with that, and I think maybe some of the times that are set now is based off of where the old entrance was. I don't know that anybody's readdressed it, because to be honest with you, 9 years ago, when I had kids in this school and I was a deputy here, there was a lot more traffic of kids and teachers going across 40 than there is now.
Yeah.
I've counted it, there's a
They don't
dozen.
park on this side anymore.
It fluctuates from 10 to 14 every day. That's it. It used to be 30. And what I've noticed with a lot of the buses, like that are going to Custer, the activity buses, the high school buses, things of that nature, most all of those people are dropped off down below.
Mhm.
And so they're not, and then they're picked up the same way in the evening. That's just my observation being out there. And that's why, again, I want to get the schools in, because maybe I'm missing something. It can happen. Yes, ma'am.
They are dropped off on the south side by where the steps are, because that's where we pick our grandson up. If we
Yep.
get to pick him up.
That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
And very few
They
of them
don't,
will
yeah,
walk
they
that
don't
purpose.
do them up on the main. They just make a circle in the drive and,
The only other thing I noticed was on the, you guys talked about it last time or the time before, was the railroad crossing. It doesn't do a lot of good when they park railroad cars.
Right, yeah.
That's, so I noticed that.
And that's just a project in process. so,
Yeah. Yeah. Any other question?
Thank you. Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just curious to know what the book value is on that vehicle.
I don't even know what year it is. Gail, do you know what year that is? 98?
I don't right offhand.
You can Google it. Kelly Blue Book, N88.
I can get it to you. I gotta find the registration on it because the stuff in the door is calling. I don't even know what year.
I don't remember what it is.
I'll have to look on the insurance card or something. But I can surely get you a book.
I'm not opposed to getting rid of it, I was just curious what would, because if we're going to get rid of it, and we do get approval from the state to get help, whatever, we're gonna have to get another vehicle then.
Correct.
And how do you feel about your vehicle?
So I took it in and I had stuff that was approved by the board before I was hired done. So it's had the 100,000 mile service done, which included changing all the fluids in it and putting new spark plugs in it. It runs better. The longer I drive it, in the beginning, the more electrical stuff came back to life. Sitting for 2 years is hard on electronics. So everything is functioning in the vehicle, short of the in-car camera. It works, but it will not record. I cannot get it to record. And so the history of that vehicle, that originally was Rick Wheeler's patrol when he was sheriff. When I became a sergeant with Custer County, he got a new vehicle, and that became my patrol vehicle when I worked there. So some of the idiosyncrasies within that vehicle have been there since 10 years ago when I go there.
Okay.
Once in a while, you'll run down the highway and it'll just nose over and it'll come back. I don't know what that is. But I think for the most part, it hasn't left me like the other one has. I haven't had to call somebody to come rescue me like I had with you.
Thank goodness.
Correct, Gary?
That's right, yeah.
You witness to that fact, I had to call for help. I think it's a good vehicle. It's got 104,000 miles on it, industry standard right now, and I'm trying to get you some answers that I know are coming into your questions in the future when we talk about a second vehicle. Used to be I could buy 30, 60,000 mile patrol vehicles that already have lights, cages, already upfitted. Basically, I just gotta move my radios and my radar into them. Those days are gone since COVID. There is not a used vehicle that has not been beat available. Custer County, some of it's COVID, some of it's the way they do things now over there compared to Rick. They're running some of their stuff to 180, 200,000 miles. What they do, I feel that's a lot more risky thing to do, but what are you gonna do at the same time if there's nothing available? I did call a new vehicle cruiser purchaser, and they're at least 6 months out from the time you order them. They vary depending on whether you're doing a pickup or you're doing a Tahoe or whatever you're doing, from 60 to 80,000. I think probably the suggestion that I'm going to bring to you at some point when I get it ironed out is going to be a vehicle off the street. My jurisdiction is within 1 mile of this town. Granted, I do back up county on calls. I do go to bad wrecks. I would say those are more far and few between than the actual day-to-day norm. There's some liability, and Mitch can probably attest to that, on a law enforcement, driving a law enforcement vehicle. It's not rated for the abuse that we put the vehicles through on a day-to-day basis. But I think in this vehicle purchasing environment, budget constraints as they are, and jurisdiction that I have, I think buying something off the street that's got 60 or 80,000 miles on it is going to be more realistic than a brand new car.
Thank you.
That's my opinion. Shell's decision, but that's my opinion.
Any further questions? If none, thank you.
Thanks.
A comment for you, Gail. For the next agenda, if we can put on there to approve the $1,000 to get it de-electrified, but prior to that, in the same motion, we'll have a vote to decommission it and the $1,000 to get it taken down at the next for the next meeting.
Okay.
Then also, I think we want to put on the agenda. Do you feel that we need another camera then if it's not recording then, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
So Custer County currently has, and I base a lot of stuff off of it. I mean, that's the jurisdiction you're used to dealing with, you're used to dealing with Marty and the decisions they're making. So y'all as a board have already made the decision that we're going to go to the Axon body camera. I have the old body cameras working. There's a reason why we're going to the Axon and not using these. A lot of Custer County's patrol vehicles have gone away from the internal camera in the vehicle and out the windshield. They've strictly gone to the body cams. And so when you initiate your lights to do a traffic stop or whatever, you're initiating that body cam. And so it is capturing that. Maybe not as clear the old school days of the camera being the evidence on the DUI. You can turn the camera on when you're following a vehicle, it's not maintaining lanes, things of that nature. It's just, that's kind of old technology, I guess, or old way of doing things. And it seems to be more and more it is the body cams than it is the camera in the car. So to be honest, I tell you no. I say the solution we have with the Axon that's coming is the industry standard in this area.
Yep, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss something there because you said it wasn't working all the time or wouldn't record, okay. Attached to the packet is the Custer County log. Does any of the board members have any questions on the log? And I think this is, the log on this here, the date on it was prior to when Marshall Slade took over, so,
Yeah, there's just a few on this. It's estimated.
yeah. And so any call that they dispatch you on will be on this log, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
okay. We have no questions on the Custer County log. We'll move on to abatements. I'll turn this over to Donna.
Right now, I think our abatements are gonna be put on hold. We need to revise some of this. We have done some abating that I'm very happy with, but then there has been letters that have been sent out that nobody has paid attention to, and I think we need to go back in and revise it a little bit, and I hope the people in town, the citizens have looked around town and seen what we have. I hope we don't get to becoming a little bigger than Fairburn town, because if you wanna look at trash, you can go down there and see how they live. And I don't want Hermosa to get like that. I think we need to pay attention to our people that aren't taking care of their lawns and stuff, and some of the people that have taken care of them, that I would like to pat them on the back, because they've done fantastic. So as for right now, I think it's useless to do any more abatements until spring, but that doesn't mean that you can't still mow and clean your yard up, that you need to continue to do that. And if you've been abated, then I think you should do your abatements. As far as the dumpster, it's pretty good now that they did an excellent job with picking up the branches and stuff after that mess we had after that storm. They really did do a good job.
Yeah, I've been
So,
going over there once a day and they're not very full.
Yeah, so.
There's some pile right now from when I did it this morning now.
Yeah.
I'll push that down.
But I think it's
tomorrow
way
morning.
better. It's way better than what it was after that storm. That was unreal.
Yeah, we're finally caught up.
Yeah. So as far as abatements, I think keep mowing your yards.
Go ahead, Vicki.
One of my issues is Don and I go around and volunteer time, volunteer gas and all that good stuff. But some of the problem comes down to people attached to planning and zoning and or the board. And they're predominantly the ones that are not following what has been requested and or in ordinance. And so it's pretty hard to send more letters to the citizens to say, hey, clean up your yard, when you have violations taking place for people that are attached. So that's when we kind of went, done.
I was reading, I don't know if it was in the Municipal League magazine or not, but you can get a grant where you can hire, it's a company that comes in and they do code enforcement. So it's independent of, a board member, that they come in and they, look at our set of ordinances and they go around and look at the buildings.
I have the application for the job that they have advertised. So,
But anyway, yeah, we'll have to address that.
but I think it's
But I think, we still need to keep on top of it, but, as of for right now, we're not,
we're done.
we're not gonna do, and like I said, I hope people that realize they have a problem in their yard, they take care of it before snow falls.
Well, and it would be nice to stop having citizens questions, well, how come they can but I can't? And that's getting real old.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your comments and thank you for the time you guys have put in. I really think that call letter going out at the, when you just call them before a letter.
That was very effective.
I think you got really good response out of
Yeah, then we
those.
went around and thanked some of them that were messes and.
The next item on the agenda is to be C, and it's under Bobby Klasky. There's a letter and Mitch, your comment on it.
What property are they talking about?
That's what I wanted to.
On and Ferguson subdivision, it's a little tiny piece.
Who owns it?
Well,
It's the
part of
towns,
the
it's a
right
right
of way.
of way, it's a right of way.
There's a road that comes in this way like this, and the house is on the corner, and there's a triangle going out there.
Yeah.
So when the two triangles come together, it gets wide, but it's just the right of way, is the way I understand
He's
it.
responsible for the right of way. For mowing. I would reject the letter.
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
We can have
considering,
our finance officer respond to it, or the board can try to send a letter, or I can.
And that's one of the things I was gonna ask you. I was gonna just request a motion to have Mitch write and send a letter to the Klaskys
Yeah, I-
stating the town will not be paying their request for payment for mowing the right of way. I guess I'll request that motion. Do I gotta?
I will make that motion.
I second that.
Was that put on the back intentionally, this?
Yeah, on the very
Yes.
bottom line,
Yeah, okay.
last sentence, yeah. Motion made by Vicky,
Second by
second by
Donna.
Donna. Any further discussion on it? No further discussions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed,
Nay.
motion carries.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Why would you be nay on that, Danny?
I guess I'll be like Hendrickson, I guess.
Oh,
That's just my,
Jesus, Dan.
Yeah,
Own opinion on
Yeah.
that, so.
yeah. One of the things that we all need to realize is that if someone votes a certain way, if they want to tell us, we'll let them tell us, but. Yeah. I know Vicky used to get put on the spot and it wasn't good, so.
And that's why I quit giving my opinion.
Move on.
Because I,
So, but anyway, so what, everybody has a right to vote how they want to vote, and
I'll write them a letter.
Thanks, Mitch.
thank you, Mitch. The dispatch contract, I guess that, I'll be signing that toward the request of approval to sign that towards the end of October. And also I noticed that, I just request a motion to remove agenda items 7E and F. They were handled in the 5 September 2023 meeting. And again, I missed that when I reviewed the initial.
I thought the F was approved too as a reserve sign for the marshal. I thought we approved that last meeting.
Yes, E and F.
that's what he's having to move to.
Oh, you said F, okay.
And when I reviewed it, I didn't catch that, so,
Okay. You're excused.
thank you.
I'll make that motion.
Yes, motion made?
I already did.
Oh, I
You
missed
got a
that.
second? Okay, second by Linda, made by Vicky. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say same. Motion carries. Unanimous. Or how do you say that? Okay, next on the agenda is 8, legal. Engineering expense reimbursements, that's still pending. Item number B, Mitch was gonna look at the ordinances, an
Yeah.
ordinance to dissolve the
I
P
still
and
got
Z.
time.
What's that?
I still got time. It's pending.
It's pending, good deal. Okay, one of the things I would like to do is I'd like to request a motion. We didn't have even though it would have just required 3, Mitch wanted to have all 5 board members here when it was voted on. So, and it wasn't that last time, so we went with what Mitch recommended and didn't vote on it. But I just request a motion to dissolve the P and Z as of 1 January of 2024.
I'll make that.
Motion made by Vicky,
I'll second.
seconded by Donna. Any discussion? If no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say same.
Nay.
There's 3 ayes, 1 abstained,
Oh yeah, you can't vote.
yeah, she abstained, and 1 nay. Motion carries.
And just so everyone knows, the ordinances to do this have to be passed. Right?
Yeah,
So, just so we all know that.
oh yeah, now, this is just, we have this, we decided to do it, now you're working on it, and then when the ordinance comes in, we gotta approve the ordinances. Yeah.
Right.
And item number C,
Pending.
it's pending. That's where we're gonna go back and look at all the ordinances. Yeah. Next item on the agenda is delegations for signing permits. And what I'd like to do is, in the packet, there's a list of all the permits. What I'd like to do is I'd like to request a motion to move the delegation for signing some of the permits to the office personnel to a work session on 27 September of 2023.
I'll make that.
When was that again? Sorry.
27th of September of 2023.
6 PM.
At 6 PM. Motion made by Vicky. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
A second. Any discussion?
Will it be unpaid or paid?
Do you want to amend the main motion to have it unpaid? And then we'll vote on that.
I will.
Motion made by Vicky to amend the main motion to have it unpaid. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Don seconds it. Any discussion on that? Yes, ma'am.
Usually, what if there's a planning and zoning meeting for the 26th? Don't we usually do a work session after a planning and zoning?
We do sometimes.
And I don't know if there's any agenda items right now, but,
From right now, I don't think there is. I can see.
oh, okay.
Would you rather do it on that Tuesday rather than the Wednesday?
Want to add that to your amendment to the motion?
Sure.
Do unpaid and do it on the 26th. The amendment was, that what we'd be voting on, was to have the work session unpaid and have the work session on the 26th.
I would do that, yes.
Okay, and the motion was made and seconded. We had discussion. All in favor of the amendment, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say same. Now we'll go back and approve and vote on the main amendment. All in favor of the main amendment with the main motion with the amendments, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say same.
Aye.
Dan?
Are you eyeing as in negative or?
Yeah.
You're saying nay?
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
6 PM?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, that's what she said.
And if there is a planning and zoning,
Then we'll be following.
We'll just follow
it'll
it.
follow? Okay.
We'll just let them adjourn or
As-
we go in first and then we come.
Okay.
So motion carries. The next item is the legal bond schedule. Do you want to discuss that a little bit,
Yeah.
Mitt, or Slade?
So last week I took a couple hours and I went over and talked with Deb Salzader with the courts as well as Tracy Kelly on a few items catching me up after being on this for about 9 years. And one thing I forgot to bring up last meeting and I'll bring it up this one, no trespasses. So state's attorney has kind of set a standard that if any of the business owners or the town for that matter has trespassed someone from property, if that trespass is more than a year old, she will not prosecute on it. And part of that reason being, I guess, with COVID is the explanation I got, there was so much changeover in management with certain companies up here, like Corner Pantry, for instance, which she used as an example, is the reason why they're only good for a year now. It's because there was just such a turnover and dynamics, life changes. So in that conversation with Deb Salzader was, so if I write a ticket out here on this highway 40 or 79, the proceeds from those citations go to the state. If there's a county road that runs through the town and I write a citation on that road, that money goes to the state. Currently, the town does not have a bond schedule with the corporate courts in Custer County for any citation that would be wrote on any of the side streets. So that money would go to the state. So basically what I provided to y'all, and I think is in this packet,
Yep.
is what Custer County has done. And basically it's just a mirror of what the state fine schedule is for these infractions, these traffic offenses. And so they need something similar to this for the town of Hermosa for any citation that would be wrote on city streets, so where that revenue would go to the town.
So they've referenced a specific ordinance section under their municipal code.
Correct,
We would need to do the same thing,
correct.
and so who's gonna do that?
Well, sir, I was gonna request a motion to have Mitch come up with the bond schedule for Hermosa to include writing municipal codes if needed, similar to the ones in the bot package.
All right,
I'll make that motion.
thanks.
Motion made by Linda,
Thanks,
seconded
Marshall.
by Vicky.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion on it? Yes, Dan?
So then you're gonna fill in the blanks for the top two then? Do we do the open container, disturbing the peace?
Yeah, I'll have to go through all of them.
And understand you don't have to do what you don't wanna do.
Right. No, I'll do it because they told me to.
Well, we got a motion to tell you.
I don't have a choice.
And I think this is definitely, I guess,
So
what you're,
I've never had to prosecuted anybody on a city ordinance violation in 5 years here. Is that the reason we haven't, maybe? Or you wouldn't know?
Basically, Deb brought it to my attention that, because the citations that I have downstairs are the state-approved generic citation, and
Yeah,
they haven't been changed in I don't know how many years. So that's how the conversation came up.
right,
And she said, but if you're gonna write a citation on anything other than 40 and 79,
right.
you're wasting the town's money because all they're doing is buying the tickets, but they're getting none of the revenue from the tickets that you write.
Well, what about other things, like maybe somebody's burning something that they shouldn't be, open burning, or some other violation, public nuisance, or,
And so this list can grow and grow. When I was a deputy, I was a liaison with the city of Custer, and I enforced their ordinances within the city, parking ordinance.
So
You
what-
can't park RVs here. So
Yeah.
you can add to or take away from this list. This list isn't all inclusive.
right, so I'll put together a chart like this, and I'll include everything, and you guys wanna. But you're telling me maybe we've never had any fine money go to Hermosa since I've been here?
The way it was described to me was that it was placed on the citation with the intent for the fine
Yeah,
to come to the town of Hermosa,
yeah.
but because they never had this document,
Mm-hmm.
the court could not do that.
You would know that. Is it, we have any money, fine money ever come here?
No.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Good to know. Didn't know that.
No,
No, you go ahead.
yes, go ahead.
but they never told us either. The courts,
So why would they? Get the
well,
money.
I know, but,
The
but
golden cow,
fair is fair, so.
cash
Ah.
cow.
Yes, go ahead.
Mitch, do you want me to send out a listserv question and ask for copies of other bond schedules?
You can.
Would that be helpful?
Yeah, I mean, this one's pretty good too. I mean,
I just
I
grabbed
assume
one
then
page.
this is what they end up paying as far as their fine money goes. They have to, is that what happens?
There's, and I've got the complete schedule, I can give it to you, Gail. It's 27 pages long.
Oh, okay.
And it
$500
shows what the fine is and what the court costs are, and break it down,
Okay.
what the courts get and what your jurisdiction will get.
That maybe, Mitch probably needs to see that then.
Oh,
I have that one.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
Good to
ma'am.
know.
Just to make note of this, all our sidewalks, we did our TA grants as multi-use sidewalks, so they are available for skateboards and walking and everything, so that particular one might not want to be on the list.
And I would absolutely agree with that. I mean, we've got 2 kids that I see, they're not skateboards, I don't know what they're called. Got little
Scooters.
T-handle,
Scooters.
little handle on it.
Yeah.
Everybody-
Rather have them on the
And
sidewalk.
then there's
Yeah.
3, I think, that ride bicycles. And I'd rather be on the sidewalk than use the highway.
Thank you for your comment. That was a good comment. And Mitch will kind of put everything in there, and then we'll look at it and take some of those type of things back out if they don't need to be. So, okay. The motion was made. We had a second. We had discussion. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, say same. Dan, how did you vote?
I said aye.
Okay, yeah, we need to hear it.
I did.
Didn't hear it. I didn't hear it either.
All opposed say, okay, all opposed say same. Motion carries.
I was thinking about my own work here,
Wait a minute.
figure out how I'm gonna do all this. That's it.
That's some other things to add, maybe.
Baron cares. This one.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is 9, engineer. As you all know, we sent out a synopsis for a new A&E firm for a time and materials, indefinite deliverable, indefinite quantity contract the first week in August of 2023. And the submittal packages were due on the 28th of August of 2023. This acquisition is a 5-part process. First, the firm submitted their packages answering the questions in the synopsises. We had 3 firms that submitted. Second, the packages were reviewed by the Finance Committee and a short list was developed for in-person interviews. 2 firms made the short list. Third step is interviews were held with 2 firms making the short list. Based upon the packages submitted and the interviews, a firm was selected. No labor hour rates were reviewed prior to the decision. This contract selection was based on potential to perform and it's performance based. The fourth step is that we set up for a meeting that's scheduled for the 20th of September, tomorrow at 2 p.m. with the selected firm to look at their hourly rates. They provided us hourly rates, but we want to just make sure that all the hourly rates are fair and reasonable. The fifth is the selected firm will sign and submit the contract for approval at the 3 October 2023 BOT meeting for full board approval and the BOT president signing. Being this process isn't done yet, it's a contract item. I didn't mention any names, but we will be going into executive session today, so if any of the board members want further information at that time, I can give it to them. Okay. Next item, A on the agenda. This is with the WRT. I request a motion to terminate the contract with ACES for the design of the WRT system with no further pay.
I'll make that.
Motion made by Vicky,
I'll second that.
seconded by Donna. I'll start the discussion. There has been no correspondence from ACES on this project since the letter from South Dakota DNR disapproved of their design submittal. If and when there is a need for the WRT system, and there may be in the future, then the new A&E firm can take over and do the design. Any further discussion? If no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say same.
Nay.
Nay.
2 nays. And 3 ayes. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the Hermosa sidewalk project. Project is completed, waiting grass to grow. I did drive by the other day and I started seeing some green stuff coming up through it. I think we've kind of been blessed with a little bit of moisture. But I want to keep this item on the agenda until the BOT does the final approval of the final payment to South Dakota DOT. So I'd like to keep that item on the agenda. The next item is the sewer project, lagoon design and expansion. American Engineering Testing update. They send a letter, I think it's in, or an email, it's in the packet, and we're hoping to see the letter with their results this week. Yeah. And then once we get that letter, that information will be forwarded to ACES, and then ACES will be incorporating that into her resubmittal to go back to the state. The water, sewer, and facilities plan. This item with the new A&E coming online, I'm just going to, in the final deal, I'll request that this be removed. Black Hills Council of Local Governments will request this to be removed. Town of Hermosa Water and Sewer Extension Project. We received a letter from South Dakota DNR dated 7 September 2023 stating the project is approved with 4 conditions. The attached letter, it's attached letter. Then also one of those conditions is that we need to verify that where our sewer line crossed under the water line that was already there, that Southern Black Hills Water, that we would, we had to have, that he has an 18-inch separation or one or the other have to be encased. And we got a letter from Southern Black Hills Water, and they would like us to expose that and verify it was done right. So with that,
Is this in relation to the claim in their suit
no,
about crossing their
no,
easement?
no, that's,
Different.
no, it's not, that other was the taking, and we can talk about, I'm gonna talk about that later
Okay.
also.
Mr. President,
Yes,
on that, then what my understanding is, basically all there is that they have approved our lids, and we can use them for the watertight manholes to expose that water line, and short of that, they have no mention of doing any foam, doing any other work.
no, we gotta comply with what they said we had to comply with. In their
Well, I haven't
letters.
seen that.
It's in the drawing, we gotta comply with what was submitted.
Well, I didn't see anything for a drawing. Do we
It's-
have a drawing, or was that?
That was submitted. If you want, we can get that and you can look at it, but no, we gotta comply with what we submitted and said we were gonna do. Remember we had Elmer
Well, it'd be
and,
nice to have that information in the
Yeah.
packet then, or
yeah,
copies of, so we know exactly what we're referencing on that, and, then that way we can go from there, and there should be in the plans, because, Southern Black Hills Water was on site when that crossover was made, and they were there to inspect it, so to me, everything was written up, everything was set in stone when we did cross that, and they were invited and they were there, so.
and there is.
RCS should have all the records on that to where it doesn't need to be redug up.
Yep.
They should have the as-built.
And that's one of the things that we can have the new A&E firm go back and look at everything, get this information from RCS and look at everything and make sure that everything is met. Because there's, on the submittals, there was one time that the ACES submitted the package to the state, it had all that information in it. The next time they submitted it, it didn't. So a lot of the confusion that is the engineer being on site during doing their own site inspections at the time. Didn't happen at those critical times. So that's where we're at with that, so.
Was there a new submittal that Elmer had done?
Yeah, that's the, remember we had Elmer
That's,
and,
I think, just before
oh,
I
okay.
came back.
What it was is we had, we requested to have Elmer come in and work together with ACES to do a submittal. They worked together, they did a submittal. They came back with a couple other questions because there's some things that were left out. A certain section of the sewer was left out of the drawings.
Okay,
So they wanted that back in there. Each time they came back, we sent it back to Elmer. Elmer looked at it and said it was approved, sent back in. So we got to do what they say we gotta do.
and
And that's
that's,
what's in the drawings.
okay,
And that's what was in prior letters that we said we were gonna do, and that's what was in our submittals. And the prior letters have always been in here, and the submittals, what they were gonna submit, so. But we will make sure we get that information out.
Okay.
So at this time, what I'd like to do is, I request a motion to have the new A&E firm come up with a cost proposal to bring the existing sewer line along Highway 79 up to South Dakota DNR standards based on the last submittal and the last letter from South Dakota DNR, and to cover the planting of the grass, if RCS decides they're not gonna do that. There's no grass cover there. There's weeds, but there's no grass cover. Yes, sir.
So we don't have any engineer firm yet, and yet we're gonna ask for a motion for them to put a proposal together?
It will be the new engineering firm. I can hold off on it if you want. I just thought we wanted to
should
get.
Till we
Yeah.
actually approve an engineer firm to come in.
Yeah. We can do that.
And to me, why spend the money when Aces is still under contract? That isn't costing us anything. Aces.
Dan, I would rather not discuss ACES right now. If you want to discuss ACES further, we'll do it in executive session at the end of the
Well,
meeting.
it's a public item.
I know it's a public item, but what I want to say about ACES is not out for the public right now.
Well, I feel it is, but like I say, it just.
Dan, we've
money.
had 3 years of ACES not complying, not doing anything,
Oh, I
not doing
understand.
things right. So what we want to do, we have a,
Take a vote on whether or not to have this item in reference to ACES gets discussed in executive session.
I'll make that
At
motion.
the end of the meeting, or we can do it now.
Yeah. motion made,
What makes that?
and do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion made in a second to discuss this in executive session. Any further discussion?
And all I wanted to make mention, like I say, it was just for the citizens is the only purpose that I brought that to attention. That it is already been paid for, so there's really make her be accountable. But thank you.
And I understand that, but we want to get a good product out of it. Okay, all in favor of continuing this discussion in executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Legal matters.
For legal matters. All opposed, say same.
Nay.
The motion carries. You got all the yeas and nays?
You ready? You ready?
Hermosa Hills drainage. We're still waiting on the mag water on that. Trent thought that he wanted to come out and do some packing. I got a hold of him last Friday, and it was just the weekend when we got all that rain would have been a great time to do it. He ended up, he was out of town, so he missed that window, so. Next item is Whitney Street drainage. I'll be requesting to remove that from the agenda later. The facilities plan for the booster, possible to add to the USDA, we request we have that removed. The rural development application, I'll be requesting that to be removed. It's not that those items aren't going to be discussed, but those items will be assigned to the, in the future to the new engineers. I request a motion to remove agenda items. A, D, E, H, I, and J.
You say B?
Yeah, A, D, E,
B.
H, I, and J.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Vicky. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Donna. I'll start the discussion. The items, these items I request to be removed with the exception of H will be addressed in the future if needed by the new A&E firm that will be coming online. And most likely will be added back onto the agenda then, but we want their input and where they're going on that. Any further discussion on this? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say same.
Nay.
Motion carries 3-2. Next item on the agenda is 10, planning and zoning. Permit 2022-25 revised digging / right-of-way sewer connection, parcel 009318 and 009319. Chuck, do you have any update?
Those permits expired, so we were looking at an extension.
Yeah. Any update on the, on your, the engineer?
Yes. They're working on the preliminaries right now, and I probably have them in 2 days.
Okay.
So they'll do the preliminaries and then they'll give them to me to submit to the state for approval for the extensions and the lift station.
Yep. And that's one of the things that we had a conversation, Chuck and I did, with South Dakota DNR. And what they said is any multiple hookup to the sewer, including lift stations or water, would require a design signed off by a PE and submitted to them for approval. But individual lift stations and individual hookups wouldn't need their approval. It wouldn't have to happen, so. Next item on the agenda is 2023-06, commercial remodeling permit application, 250 Main Street, storage loft pending. No, I'm not gonna be pending it right now. Brad removed the loft. He provided the keys. He has done things that he needed to do come in compliance. So I request a motion to have all past non-compliances by Brad be just that, passed. And from here on, a clean slate and a clear understanding that the contract will be enforced.
I'll make a motion to accept that.
Motion made by Donna,
I'll second it.
second by Vicky. I will start discussion. Because in the past, all the contract items he wasn't held accountable by the contract, by the past boards. Individual board members had given him permission to do things that kind of overstepped their things. I feel the new board needs to give him a clean slate at this time, and based on the meeting between Brad, Vicky, and I, where we went over the contract item by item and stated that the contract can only be changed by the full bot. I feel Brad understands the contract and what is required of him. A clean slate at this time, I feel, is justified. And kind of what I mean by that is that when we're looking into the future between now and when his contract ends in February, that if he stays good there, we don't go back and use those past ones. Whatever his performance will be based upon here out. Any further discussion? Yes, sir.
I guess, to me, with the lease agreement in place as what it is, that we never really did put anything in writing to contest anything that he did do over there. We had question on it, we made mention, so to me, I guess we really don't need a motion to say that there's a clean slate. I think we just go forward with the lease and form that it's in.
We did provide letters from Mitch. Letter went through Mitch on it. One of the things I was looking at is do I make a request a motion to have Mitch send him another letter that talked about that he violated the parking for the two vehicles out front, because according to that, it either has to be his or his employees. He doesn't have any employees, so that was a violation. And then we look at the parking for the 24-hour period. It can be either one vehicle or trailer, just for up to 24 hours. We had probably about 2 weeks where we had pictures morning and night doing that. That's one of the things I was thinking about, request Mitch to send another letter and say he violated these things.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessary.
I don't think that's why I didn't think it was
I
necessary.
think he cured the default that I presented to him,
Yeah.
as I understand it. Provided the key, took the loft out or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we're done, we start anew now.
And he did provide an inspection.
So
And we
it's
did-
not-
we did
it's
do-
not- And I wouldn't wanna be a part of that myself as a lawyer, to go back and say, oh, and by the way, thank you for complying with my letter, but we got something else we need to talk about that you didn't do back in March. I don't do that.
Well, no, some of this stuff he didn't do within last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I get it.
But, you know, I just wanna just have a clean slate for going forward, so.
And he
Thank you
pays
for
his
your
rent
input.
on time.
Yeah, and, so, any further discussion? Anything from, I thought I seen a hand, okay. All in favor of, from this date forward to, as the motion stated, to kind of give him a good and clean slate and don't use anything
He's
from
in full
here?
compliance with the lease.
Yes, and for now forward is, that's what it is. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Linda, did I?
I,
Okay. Motion carries. And there is a very good understanding of what needs to be done and a real good willingness that he wanted to make sure he complied. And after we identified the things, he corrected it all, so. Next item on the agenda is approval for Whitney Street new addresses. I request a motion to approve the new street addresses based on the attached letter from the Custer County GIS office.
I'll make that.
Motion made by Vicky,
I'll second
seconded by Donna. Any discussion? That's. Yes.
first part of discussion is that Donna cannot vote on any of this.
No, this here right
Oh,
here.
That's a street address.
That's the street addresses and
Bouchard's.
that's Bouchard's.
Okay.
And I did identify that from D on, that's where I identified where Donna could vote. But I apologize for not saying it was a Bouchard's property down there. So, but no, it is, the attached letter, it shows, or the addresses actually does talk about the Bouchard properties. The emails that went back and forth, so.
The parcel that they sold, I take it.
Yes, Dan?
So these are going to be then 260 and 270 then?
Yes.
To be clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say same. Motion carries unanimous. The next items is, I actually covered it up under conflict of interest, was item D, E, F. That Donna will abstain from being on. I request a motion for approving the extension for permit number 2022-31 demolition application, parcel number 009327.
I'll make that, but I would also like to add item E and F and do it all in one motion.
Yep. Yes.
On them though, if he's bringing forward new engineer report, it's gonna change the digging and grading of what he's gonna do and the development of what he was really originally gonna do, because he felt he was gonna do a 1 inch
Those
before.
permits will be separate. These are the existing permits.
This existing permits that he still needs to do work on.
But I guess my question then on the digging and grading, are them going to them houses or are they going to the shop?
They're going to the lots up on the top, two that are on top there. The rest of that will all be in the engineer's design for the lower lots and
But in the subdivision ordinances, not all gotta be included since all in lots are all in that subdivision?
that's not a subdivision.
And they're already platted, and what it is
Understand that, but-
what it is, like I said, when we talked to the state said that individual hookups did not have to come into it. And those two places on the top, they're gonna hook into the existing sewer, hook into the existing water for those two lots on the top, I understand that, right, Chuck? And then what your engineers stuff that they're submitting is gonna be the water line, 2-inch or whatever you guys decide, that's gonna come down and then serve all the lots along Whitney, and then there will be a pressure sewer main that comes down, and from the lift station, it'll go up, and then there'll be gravity feed into that lift station from the bottom sewer lots on Whitney, that goes up. That's where the two differentiates between, so.
The permits that are on there now are to extend those, the new permits have not even been applied for yet. That'll come in under the new engineer's design.
Is there any further
These are just
discussion?
extensions. P and Z already passed them.
Yeah, oh yes, and P and Z
Yeah.
passed them in the meeting that you covered.
Right.
So the motion right now is to approve item D, E, and F.
For extensions.
Yes, ma'am.
I hate to back you up, but this Whitney Street and this thing, I'm confused. What are you talking about? The two bottom lots?
Yes, your two bottom lots.
Okay, well,
It was, when you thought that because you thought you had some of it sold, right? In order to sell it and for them to do things and get permits and everything, they have to have lot numbers. So that process was started by Jill in the past, and we see no reason to stop it just because it didn't sell. They'll have lot numbers now, 260, 270. So if you guys decide to do anything in the future with them, that will already be accomplished.
but right now they're no longer for sale.
Yeah. Yeah. But still, they have their lot numbers in case in the future they decide to do something.
Okay.
All right. All right, thank you for your input. Now we're back to voting on the motion for the extension on 3 permits, D, E, and F. We had discussion on it. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
There's 3 ayes and 1 nay.
No, it's a text.
Yeah, and one abstention.
You
Yeah,
won't
no,
let me-
that's not a word, is it? She abstained. Abstination. Look her up. It's there. Motion carries. Okay, I request a motion to remove agenda items 10, B, C, D, E, and F.
Make that.
Motion made by Vicky,
I'll second that.
seconded by Linda. Any discussion?
I suppose I still can't see.
Because it has some of your stuff, so. I got Linda as second in it.
Yep.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Alright.
All opposed say same. Motion carries 4 ayes and 1 abstain. Next agenda item, abstination. Look it up. That's why I'm an engineer, Mitch, and not a lawyer.
Abstention.
Yeah,
It's an abstention.
abstination.
No, it's an abstention.
Okay, next item on the agenda. Public Works Committee report. I'll turn it over to Mr. Ferguson.
Don't have anything on the streets. It looks like there was gravel put in out on, General. Looks good. Did you patch some holes on Fairgrounds Place down?
No.
Somebody did.
Brett Nagelbauer did it.
Hmm?
Brett Nagelbauer did it.
Oh,
What was that?
oh.
Fairgrounds.
Okay, Danny went to fill.
They just filled some potholes.
I was tired of
Street lights, we had 3 that were out. Those have been repaired. That's it on those. Water, we have submitted the last of the reports, and also we're getting deep into the CMOM thing right now. And most of those, quite a few of the records on the water itself is intact. We just need to transfer them over to their little booklets. And sewer, we had added some more peroxide to that. And I was down there a couple of different times and there was very little or no smell that I could detect. But, you know, color's not what I want it to be yet, so, Danny Ayers is here and, had quite a discussion with him on the whole thing. And we're gonna try transferring water from Pond C into Pond A. Try to change the color of that. Mostly it's lack of oxygen. The peroxide is supposed to straighten that up. And so far we put 30 gallons in there. And it's gonna have to have some more time, probably to see some, I see some change in it, a little here and there. But basically it's holding its own. I mean, it's not, we're not full. The windy days and the hot days helps every time, so. Guess that's all I got on sewer.
Okay, that was item number B. It was streets, street lights, water and sewer department. One of the things that in driving around I've noticed, and it's been there for a while, right at the end of Ferguson Street, right where you come to 40, there's a pothole about a foot by a foot.
Yeah.
And I'd like to request a motion to have that repaired. Would that be something you would be able to do?
Get some cold patch and put it in, I guess. And out on the streets, so, but I can do that.
Do you want a motion to have that repaired
Yes,
at town's expense and pay Chuck?
yes.
I think that.
I'm just concerned that it's just gonna get worse if we don't put a cold patch on it. So.
I need a second on that motion.
I'll need a second.
I'll second it for discussion.
Second for discussion.
I have not driven down there and seen that. How close to the Highway 40 is it?
Oh, I'd say from me to Chuck.
Yeah,
And it's probably about center lane of the driving lane going north. It's about this big around.
pretty good
and
size.
It started there and it's just kinda getting bigger and it's probably about that
How
deep.
far is the state's responsibility to fix things?
No, it's not.
No, it's,
Definitely is
that's
not.
all Ferguson. Yeah, it's not, it's further enough south
Okay,
that it's not even in their
okay.
their
That was
road
only
right
my
away.
question
Yep,
because
thanks for asking.
save the town money if
Oh,
it
yes.
was, you know, so.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Uh,
How much cost are you gonna allow on it?
What
Well-
do you think it would cost Chuck?
I
Approximately.
don't know, whatever. Probably $150. I don't know what the,
plus the cold mix, which
I
you'll
don't
get.
know what the, cold patch, you can get those in bags, you know.
Yeah.
So, do you think a $200 cap? Okay.
And then you'll submit, when you submit it in, just say, this is what the cold patch was and this is what my hourly was. And thank you.
Do we wanna ask for bids then? It's gonna cost $200 to.
No, we
fill that?
we're not required to ask for bids.
No, I know, but
And it's something that
No.
we need to get done.
It's gotta be done.
You know, the way to solve it, if you don't wanna do it, then just have Dan go do it.
So, uh,
Do we need
If no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say same.
nay.
There was one person that abstained and 3 ayes and 1 nay. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is an agreement for performance of services of the Public Works. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, there's still a light out, the very last one on the highway, on the very southern one on the highway.
West side,
On the east side. It was out when I came home from Custer on Sunday, and also last night when we came home.
Just use this to get my attention.
Okay.
you know, maintain it.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that the big one that the state put in?
Mm-hmm.
See, because I was told the state had to fix that.
No.
No, they're our responsibility, unfortunately.
I just thought-
And we pay the electric on it too. yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Chuck.
If no further discussion on it? I didn't know we already voted on it, didn't we? Yes, there was just some discussion after we voted, okay. Next item on the agenda is agreement for performance of services of public works and town maintenance contract. That would be Chuck's contract. It comes due in 1st of January. I am working on it, and I hope to have a draft ready by mid-November when where I will be requesting a working session to allow input and comments on the draft from all BOP members. That's just kind of an update on that one. Walter Street maintenance, add gravel. As Chuck mentioned, over by the Dollar General, gravel has been added. Some of the same potholes with the rain that we've had since then, probably about almost 3 inches, are showing through. So in the future, we'll need to, the potholes will need to be dug up prior to placing new gravel or asphalt millings. As far as the work there, the work as described and in what we had agreement with Mr. Halsworth to do was done and completed and good.
Thank you, Dan.
So, the next item on the agenda is the bolted tank interior floor reseal. On this item here, I request a motion to leave this pending, waiting on a second quote. Although not required by law until over $50,000, Chuck has another company he wants to request a quote from.
I'd make that.
Motion made. Do I have a
I'll second
second?
it.
Second. Any discussion? If no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say same. Motion carries, 4-4 and 1 abstained. Okay, I request a motion to remove agenda item 11D.
Make that motion.
Motion made by Linda,
Second.
second by Vicky. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed say same. Motion carries unanimous. Next item on the agenda is 12, Finance Officer. I will turn this over to Gail.
So the monthly financials for the end of August are in the packet. There's nothing in here that is any surprise that I need to bring to your attention at this time. But if you have any questions, please let me know.
There's one thing that I wanted just to bring out. Whoops, I'm sorry, Vicki.
You're fine.
If I can find it again now, I should have circled it. It's in there what we said, what was it, our last month and this month? Where did I see that at? One was $890,000 and the other one was, let's see. I guess the comment what I wanted to make is from last month to this month, we're gaining. And you went back and looked at, we're gaining in the total amount of money that we have. So, yeah, right here. Balance statement. Yeah, the balance is on the page here, page 4. Beginning balance statement was 896, 847. And at the ending balance statement was 893.07. And that was one of the things I was following and looking at even in the past, and we're showing that we're gaining a little bit. So even though we have quite a bit going out, we are gaining a little. So. Go ahead.
I really have no department updates other than this kind of goes down further into under new business. I did talk to Ben Elliott, or got an email from Ben Elliott about using bed, board, and booze, we use that term, for utilizing some of the finance officer's salary. So I don't know if you want to talk about that now, or if you want to.
Under the new business, we'll
Okay.
discuss that. Yeah.
So I really have no other department updates at this time.
And then number E, I request a motion to have the BOT president sign the South Dakota DOT required certification due to the executive order 2023-13 per email dated 12 September 2023. The executive order and the email is in the packet for the board members to review, and if they're.
So moved.
Dan makes the motion, seconded by Vicky. Any discussion on the item? If no further discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Dan?
Yeah.
All opposed say same. Motion carries unanimous. Item number F, I request a motion to submit for a Western Dakota Regional Water System membership.
So moved.
Motion by Dan, second by Vicky. I will start the discussion. Just to ask, this is in the next year's budget. Dan had requested to move it up now, and I guess the question to Gail is, do we have enough? Do we have money in that line item to do it?
There's the membership is $1,500, and there's $3,100 in professional fees available.
So, I guess my discussion is I'd recommend to do it now if we have, because we're not over in that budget, do it now and then it won't be on next year's. Any further discussion? No further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say same. Motion carries unanimous. Okay, now you have to help me watch on this one.
Wait,
Okay, what, go ahead.
I'd like to ask Donna and Vicky what they thought of the report that was up there on median and spearfish.
The one we went to, they never mentioned any about Missouri River. Never even came up.
Yeah, it was,
Sure it was with Cheryl Chapman. She put that 30-minute presentation together on it.
Well, we never heard anything mentioned about Missouri River.
Yeah, we were all in the same room. It was,
I know.
You were, yeah,
She never
on the
I
even-
don't think
road.
It wasn't what I called,
I don't think it
Very
was that
informative.
informative to us as far as, you know,
No, I thought it was a very good presentation where she basically brought it out that due to the B-21 coming in, their plan was for 2030 and 2040 to have all the waters and the motions put forward in South Dakota, and now she's moved it up to 2020, 2040 because of all of the needs of the water. And with all the engineer reports and economists, they're afraid of another big drought coming in 2050. So that's why they moved it up. And then in our report, they also said that they've already received $8 million in ARPA money, and then $1 million in private donations to go towards the project.
I didn't hear a thing like that.
That was all in her report that day while we were all in there. And then also that they showed the list of all the donations from the towns and municipalities that have already contributed. That's why I'd asked that we have this added, because so we could be added to that list. They thanked all the supporters, which New Underwood and Rapid City were in there, Rapid City being the largest contributor at this point of it. Looked like there was roughly 15 of them that have contributed already throughout the city, and that was up on their slideshow, and she had a complete slideshow through the whole thing, all about that. They will continue to proceed, she said. Originally, they were gonna do a 3-foot pipe from the Missouri River up. They've changed that now to a 6-foot pipe, is what they're doing in North Dakota. And steadily secure the path and right-of-ways. They've already purchased a lot of right-of-way coming in. The WDRWS, she said in that seminar also, started in the 70s and was voted down in the Senate to proceed with it at that time because nobody thought it was a need that was ever gonna need to be done in South Dakota. So that's when Chapman and the others picked up the ball and rolled with it and re-energized it in western South Dakota. John Thune was part of the delegates that Chapman mentioned in that seminar also, that was on forefront of pushing this project and bringing it forward. It passed by 1 vote to move forward, which was pretty unusual for the Senate to be that close on a vote of that nature. The School of Mines are the ones that they paid a 2-year contract to study this, to make sure there was enough water for western South Dakota to be able to function off of that. And this is all in that seminar, but
We obviously
Chapman
missed that part.
said with
I
that
heard about this.
2-year development that they did have enough water to supply us. And then in our packets, it was interesting
We
that the
didn't have
one
a
from,
packet.
no, I'm saying in our packets
Okay.
tonight, they also have the North Dakota one and the listing in there, which thank you for putting that in there.
Yeah, FIY.
That basically a teaspoon worth of water is all it's gonna take to feed North Dakota, and that's what Chapman said in her seminar also, is that's about what South Dakota will be also because of our needs and where we're at. So it's very well worth pursuing. The hubs will be soon to be announced on where they're going as they're buying right away. And then, of course, the water will come to every community, Chapman said, in the bulk of the Missouri, and then it'll be our responsibility to treat it as it gets here. So each town, station, area will have that also. But I thought it was an excellent seminar. I thought she did a great presentation. And she followed right on through, so I'm sorry you ladies missed that one.
Obviously.
Well,
because
thank
we
you very
never
much, Dan,
heard
for
any
your,
such thing.
thank you very much, Dan, for the input on that. As you did mention, that the timelines are out there a ways, and in order to meet some of our needs, we might have to take some interim steps before then. Go ahead, you have a comment.
So when you said a teaspoon, are you saying that it's not taking a lot of water out of the Missouri? Is that
There's
what
such a volume, such a mass in the Missouri River that's why they went to the 6-foot pipes for North Dakota and for us, and what they're feeding off of them pipes into the areas. So that's why they paid the School of Mines for that 2-year study to make sure that we were going in the right direction, so.
So are they emulating then that North Dakota project? Okay.
Yep, and that's why it'll piggyback in the same circumstance. It'll be, of course, in a different area, as Chapman said at that seminar, that where we will draw our sources from versus North Dakota because of geological areas of where that water will be better served to us, so. But she had, like I say, a 30-minute slideshow on the whole thing, every single bit of it. And then first announcement was well received by everybody on the Missouri River and how she broadcast it, so.
I had one more comment from Chuck out here.
About 2 years ago, I was involved in this, and they actually wanted me to be a representative in this, the western part of South Dakota. And I saw the blueprints of the actual pipeline and stuff, and there was an attorney involved, and actually Bill Durst was weighing in there pretty heavy on that thing. And at that time, they were looking for, support and whatever, and I agreed that we'd be very much interested in whatever happened there, because, they were showing, where they were peeling off the road, a new underwood and wall, and actually the base was gonna get a big gouge of that, but it also was coming further west, and they hadn't really have any plans in there. What Durst was after was Keystone and that kind of stuff, so, but it kind of mellowed out there for a year, I guess, and then, like Dan said, somebody else took it up and started revitalizing, pumping a little new blood in there. But it's been in the works for many years.
Okay, did you have?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. And so the discussion kind of came after the discussion, but the vote is, yeah, we're gonna go forward. Thank you for bringing that to the agenda, Dan, and for your input in the meeting here. Okay. Next item is I request a motion to remove agenda items 12E and F.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by Dan, seconded by Vicky. Any discussion? If no discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say same. Motion carries unanimous. Under, next item is old business, 13A, the voluntary annexation. I know it's a high priority, but Gail is pretty much maxed out on the things that she needs to get done day to day. But we do have that on our radar,
Okay.
and when she gets to it, but
Okay.
there's just a lot of stuff. Go ahead if you
I'll
have
start
anything.
working on that.
If
Yeah,
time
I'm good.
allows, yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, they-
I'll make that my next priority then.
Yeah, and as long as that works with, all the other stuff you need to do, yeah.
Okay.
So, the town sign, I would request it to be moved from the agenda. And then the next item is the town office deck staining and the library deck staining. That's been pending for a long time. I request a motion to have a contractor do the staining on the town office deck and the library deck. This item will be added. This item will be added to the agenda once proposals are received to do the work. Re-added to the agenda then.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by Dan, seconded by Vicky. I'll start the discussion. I'll work with Gail on getting the proposals and where we need to go to get the work done. Yeah, go ahead.
Mitch, does that have to be a public notice to have our deck stained?
No,
No.
I mean, can I put it in,
we're under 50 grand. You can do anything you want.
so I can put it like in the town newsletter?
Sure.
Yeah.
Hang it in
To see if we
the
get
box
some-
or something like that? Okay,
And maybe we'll get volunteers again, but it just didn't turn out this way with Terry leaving and Linda's need. Go ahead, Donna.
Well, and I did talk to my neighbor next door, and her boy isn't in Boy Scouts anymore, and she told me I should call the local office, but I didn't get that done, so.
Yeah.
She said he's not doing Scouts right
But there is a need to do that if things aren't taken care of, then it's bad. Yes, ma'am.
Can you put it on the Hermosa community page? There's a lot of contractors and stuff out there that follow that too.
can we do that?
600 or 700
Yeah.
people that.
There's no bidding requirements on it.
Could,
Now, all we're doing is just asking for someone to say this is what we'd like to have done.
You could volunteer.
do they, do
I
they
don't
need
think that's
to
happening.
have a contractor's permit?
Depends on if they're volunteering or getting paid. I would think. If they're volunteering, they don't. You just need to sign the volunteer
Do you really see somebody
requirements. No, I'm
volunteering?
just saying. I think that if they are getting paid for the job, they need a permit to work within the city. That's
Oh,
my
sure.
opinion.
Oh, for sure. No, that's not an opinion. That's required.
Okay,
Thank you.
contractor's permit. contractor's permit required?
And for doing paint and stuff like that, there's no licenses that they need, they just need to provide their information and provide that they have insurance.
Okay,
And so I'll work with, part of the discussion, I'll work with you to
Okay.
come up with, because I think you planned that they needed to be pressure washed before and prepped and make sure it's ready for the staining, so we'll come up with some of the verbiage it needs for that and then, go ahead.
If you go into business, ours needs to be done too. I would pay you.
No, I'm not volunteering. Did you, oh, you were just getting a drink, I thought you had your hand up.
No, I'm just drinking.
So anyway,
No,
that's, careful.
I don't eat.
Put your hand up, you can get volunteered for something like that.
Yeah.
okay, any further discussion on this item? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed say same. Motion carries unanimous. Hermosa Connects. We don't have anybody from Hermosa Connects here.
No, and you were there, I was not.
Yeah,
They did have the meeting at Windbreak, right?
yeah.
Are they having it again at the Windbreak?
Nope, we're gonna.
Going back to Valina's, are they doing it on the Mondays?
They're gonna change it to Mondays when Valina is closed, so.
Right.
Cause she's the secretary there and it's, she needs to be at the meeting, so.
Right, and she doesn't have a lot of help. So she
And
needs to be closed.
she
at
did
the
do the
time.
secretary-
And it's at 8:30, right? Or is
Yes.
it 9?
9, change
It's
it
at
to
9.
9.
Okay.
And they needed a treasurer, and I needed to ask Mitch this question. Being as I'm the town board president, I'm on the town board, can I be one of the members? I know I'm a member of it, but can I be one of the, like the treasurer there
Oh,
of Hermosa Connects?
sure.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure of that, so. They got some good things they're looking at. One of the things that was discussed in that meeting is there's a lot of places that have things that happen in their community that kind of identifies their community. One of the things is like the outhouse races. That's up in, what is that? Is that in?
Roxford.
Nemo.
What?
Isn't it?
And so anyway, one of the things that was brought up, and they're gonna be looking into it, was brought up by, Leo Van Sandbeek, was, boxcar races. And remember like when we were kids, you'd build them, and they're looking at doing that, trying to get that going. And probably the first time they would do it would probably be in conjunction with the next fair, not the fair, but the, yes, go ahead.
Well, there was a thing, I don't remember what it was it an outhouse that kept, when we were having all these fundraisers, everybody was having a fundraiser, and then somebody would bid on this outhouse, or, I don't remember, was it an outhouse?
Yeah.
And then, the funds went where? Do you know, remember?
Well, a lot of things, they'll have a, what do they call it? They'll have a,
Yeah,
but
'cause
anyway.
they did this, it was a fundraiser,
Oh,
then
yeah.
they kept passing this outhouse. Whoever got the high bid, the outhouse went to them, and then they had to go to the next one, and it just kept, but I don't.
But anyway, they're looking at doing that, and one of the things that they bring up is, he has some relatives over in a small town in Portland, Oregon, where they have these, and you can have adult deals, try to get some of the colleges to come down, and this college challenges this college, it's just trying to do something to get people in, there'll be an entry fee for it. There could be, what do they call it, like fishing tournaments they have the night before where you go and buy teams?
Calcutta.
The Calcutta, and they're looking at potentially doing a Calcutta on that where people, hey, so that's one of the things we're looking at doing, it's just something that identifies to try to identify something that happens in Hermosa, so. Sidewalk extension, from Ingles Boulevard, this item was removed from the agenda, yeah, that's one I requested that was not on the agenda now. Okay, next motion is I request a motion to remove agenda items 13B, C, and D.
I'll make that.
Motion made by Vicky,
I'll second.
seconded by Donna. Any discussion? If no discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say same. Motion carries unanimous. Agenda item number 14, new business. 14A, Southern Black Hills Water presentation. That is still pending. It'll probably be looking at mid to late October of 2023, and we'll be discussing with the board in the executive session. Contractors licensing ordinance, chapter 112 review. I request a motion to remove this from the agenda. Item number B, request a motion to remove it from the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Sure.
Motion by Vicky,
I'll second it.
second by Donna. I will stop just gonna, I request this agenda item to be removed. It is not a priority at this time. Gail will add it back to a future, Gail will add it to the future agenda items so it doesn't get lost. And list, and then it will be addressed in a future meeting. So, any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say same. Motion carries unanimous. The administrative assistant position, I was going to be requesting a motion. We talked in the last meeting about the person, Jody Simons. She does barrel racing. She was in a real bad accident Saturday on her horse, got thrown into the fence. She has broken vertebrae.
C2, 3, 4.
Yeah, C2, 3, and 4. So right now, she's not taking any calls, she's not taking any visitors. Donna knows her daughter. Donna's kind of keeping a little bit of an update, but we just don't wanna be pushing anything there.
I think right now we need to
Just-
give her time.
Yeah, and we just gonna find out how she's doing, where she's doing, and what her outlook is, and
I texted her, oh, here,
So-
let's see, she's in a lot of pain, surgery on her neck. Was with her all afternoon, hopefully she'll get out of here on Friday.
yeah.
I don't know how much rehab she'll have.
Yeah, but anyway, so we're kinda just gonna table this for now, and do I need to make a motion to leave it tabled? No. Okay, we'll just leave it tabled until the next meeting. Yes, ma'am.
So what does that mean for the office then? We're just gonna continue to
Hopefully
have
we'll,
no administrative assistant at this point? It sounds, I don't mean to be tacky because I realize that she's
Yeah.
in major trauma, but
hopefully we can find out, before the next meeting, what type of rehab she has, what type of, is it anything permanent, is there something that's gonna preclude her from doing it, is this something that she's gonna still wanna do? And hopefully by the next meeting, we'll have those questions answered.
okay.
Are you still advertising then?
No,
I think you should. I think you should put it back out there again and keep advertising, because you don't know.
I think we'll wait, we will wait and give her time. We went through the interview process. We'll wait, give her time. We'll know by,
In 2 weeks.
we'll know by the next
Or
meeting
something more.
where she's at.
But I guess my question, I'm sorry, but we were looking for two, weren't we? So if you're not.
We're
advertising-
we're still advertising for another temporary.
no, there is no more advertising
Oh.
out there right now.
So I think you should, in my opinion.
Well, do we want to have discussion on that right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go, it's here now, but I guess, until we find out where she's at, we made a, I don't know, we had a meeting with her, we addressed it. We need to find out where she's at before we go out any further, because we already made the initial commitment based upon approval from the whole board that we were gonna have that position, and I just don't think it's right to,
I don't think she should have to worry about that right now.
she doesn't have to worry about that right now, and then and she doesn't need someone else to tell her that, oh, the town was out advertising again. No, that's not how we do business. We made it, now we can go out and, I don't have a problem with going out and looking for a part-time person, but not to advertise as full-time or part-time, because we already, until we get this resolved, we already have half the job filled. I guess that's my feeling.
We've all,
And I understand your position in that, but I just, she was in an accident.
It would be dirty of us to do it if you really wanna know.
What's that?
I think it would be real dirty of us to do that for her. Right now, she's got enough to worry about on her plate.
Yeah, she don't need to hear that the town is
Right, and
advertising.
I just don't think she needs to hear that now her job's gone too.
That wasn't even where I was
No.
going
No.
with that.
We were just
Yeah,
part-time.
no,
we were
but
looking
yeah.
for another part-time as it stood. Should we continue to advertise for the other part-time position? Not her position, the other part-time
So
position.
here, I don't know if this is gonna happen or not, but a friend of mine, Liz Smith, knows somebody that is an accountant, and she's looking for possibly a part-time job. So would you be?
Yeah, we can address that, yeah. Yeah, she knows
I
it, she
think
knows
she'd
it.
only even want maybe 2 days.
Yeah, and she, Jody knows that hers was part-time and know that we were going to look for somebody else. We discussed that,
Okay,
so she
Yeah,
knows
she's
that.
aware of
But,
that.
but
Okay.
what we don't
And
want
how we
is,
physically work out the timeframes is,
right, okay.
and the way I see it, Jody comes back, she's kind of has where her timeframes are, and then the next person
Yeah,
would
'cause I-
fill
yeah.
it.
it'll all work out.
But I just
No,
don't
we're
want to
not
go out
eliminating, we're-
anywhere where we're going out for the original ad was full-time or part-time. I just don't agree with sending that out, so.
Okay,
And I think we just,
But
Wait
we're
until-
talking about, yeah.
okay. Well, she calls,
oh, no, if she
was
calls,
gonna-
we'll have interviews.
okay, all right. that
Because
sounds good.
she's calling in reference to
The original one.
the original advertisements.
Okay,
Yeah, no, we'll have interviews for the part-time, but we won't be going out and looking for full-time at this time. So that's on, we'll just hold on that.
okay.
Next item agenda is Fuel the Growth, the Economic Development course. Dan attended that, Joan attended it, and I attended it. I'll start out with Joan, and you can give some of your remarks.
Well, 10 speakers in 2.5 days is a lot of information. And basically, I think I'm still processing a lot of that, going through my notes. A lot of good information. I mean, a lot of things just kind of stick in your mind that were said, but you have to relate them back to everyone else too. I think our biggest takeaways is the fact that the speakers were all so very nice and personable. Each one of them provided their email and their phone numbers and said, if you have questions concerning what was discussed, just give me a call. It doesn't have to be today, tomorrow, but as they come up, perfectly happy to answer questions. Plus, they gave us a lot of resources of other places to get information, like Dakota Resources. They're all about rural communities and helping them do a lot of different things. So I think it was well worth attending.
Mr. Hallsworth, you have any comment
I
on this?
agree. I missed some of the speakers, which was unfortunate, but I'm glad you caught me up to speed when I went to the WDRWS meeting. But I think so too. It's nice that they put everything out there on the website. It's definitely directed towards people pursuing the economic development position or career more than what we thought maybe it would be more directed towards in the communities and stuff. It definitely gave us some ideas, but it was a long course.
My opinion on it was a very good course. I think it had a lot of stuff in it that dealt with communities and what communities can do to move forward. There's some of the things, I mean, you could come up with probably 100 to-do list items out of that. Some of the things that they talked about is, you know, the planning and zoning, the zoning that you're doing within a community. You know, they went back, and I never really thought about this, but, you know, where we came up with the single family dwelling homes, you know, was when everybody after the World War II started going out and living in the suburban area. Everybody wanted to be away from everybody else. The money was there, people could buy it. Now with, you know, there's very few jobs in one person, you know, in a working that can actually pay for one of them homes. You have to have double income to do that. So they talked about looking at different ways of zoning stuff, you know, zoning more towards the townhome type stuff. You know, they talked about how that would affect the sewer, gas, and water. If you have a, say, a 400-foot long block, I don't know what our blocks are, 400 or 500-foot block. You know, if you have, instead of having maybe 3 houses on it, you know, if you have multiple units, then in townhomes and duplexes and fourplexes and triplexes, and is that your sewer costs go down. Because one of the things that they showed out is no matter how you look at it, even with your tap fees and the amount of money that you get in from property taxes, that a single family dwelling cannot pay in its lifetime, 50 years, cannot pay for the infrastructure that's needed for it. And the people don't have the money now, so we gotta start looking at how we're gonna relook at how we do our zoning, do our setbacks, things like that. You know, they talked about in commercial areas, they talked about having mixed uses where, you know, the bottom, you know, the main floor is your retail stuff and your upper floor is apartments, living areas. They talked a lot about that. The big thing is, there's a big deficit, a big gap between what homes cost and what people get paid. Everything has gone way up before, and wages hasn't kept up. I've seen, I'll get with you in just a second, John. I've seen areas where, you know, they really talked about not only should you be concerned about getting new businesses into your community, but the importance of taking care of the businesses that are already there. And so I think I see some options, some things where we could work through Hermosa Connects with BB&B money to do some things to move us forward. So I was really excited about it. I think I would recommend that every board member goes. And I know that Dan said he missed some of it, but the other one he covered was good information he brought in. So go ahead, Joan, you had another comment.
Well, I just wanted to mention that one of the first things that came to my mind when that speaker was talking was the fact that Hermosa has the opportunity to change their setbacks. They don't have to be 25 feet on each corner. We can change that, which would help.
Yeah.
Also, one of the other aspects they discussed, we just did a couple years ago. We have our ADU ordinance for smaller facilities. And if you look through our community, we are so diversified compared to a lot of communities. We have our apartments, we have our businesses can be within your residential. I mean, we've allowed all of that. So I was very happy to think that there's more we can do, and they gave us suggestions, but we had already done some of that.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that. Next item is Headwaters Economics. I'll make a quick comment and then I'll turn it over to Joan. Elmer was going to be under contract to do a hydrologic study. And I'll have, if you got, Joan, do you have that scope of work that you could,
No, I don't believe I brought it with me.
no, but I mean, could you email that scope of
Oh,
work
sure.
to Gail, and then Gail can get it out to all the board members, so
Sure.
they can see what that scope is?
Yeah,
And that's a project, I think it came in at $18,000. And that's at no cost to the community. And I was really glad that Elmer was in that one meeting we were at, because they were talking about all these things that needed to be done, and Elmer goes, I kind of already did all those things, and I can kind of bring it together. So it's good that they're looking at going Elmer on that. So any further stuff on?
no, just that, like you said, thank goodness Elmer was at the meeting because, you know, he saved them a ton of money from what the quotes we saw
Yes, yeah.
were from other engineers in Rapid. So he saved them a ton of money because of what he's already done. Plus he will be doing the drainage study for the whole town limits. So one of my first thoughts was that we might want to hold off on any, you know, he said it would take 2 to 3 months and he'd have to do this, which I think is pretty darn fast. But we would want to maybe hold off on, like the path you were talking about, things like that, until he's completed his whole drainage study. And hopefully, having saved Headwaters this much money, if they can move on and pick one of those projects he comes up with and help us do that. I don't know that that's a possibility, but
Yep.
we can always hope.
Yep, we can discuss it, okay. Next item is on Anderson Engineering. That's still pending. I'm getting more information on different things from Terry Morgan. I'll be visiting with her tomorrow after the Custer County Commissioners meeting. I'll be getting more information from her. And then also I'll be visiting with their planning department and looking at, see if I can get a copy of every one of their permits. So when we go into the work session later on, we'll be able to look at those, so, also, so. The next item on the agenda is workspace, contractor's workspace. We tabled this at the last meeting. I request a motion to approve the contract for office space for Chuck Ferguson as identified in the packet. And again, this is an item that she will not be on, so. I just say that for the minutes. Okay. Do I get do I have a motion?
I will.
Motion made. By Vicky, do I have a second? I'll second the motion. I will start the discussion. This contract will only be from now to 1 January of 2024. The new contract will address this issue, and all board members will be able to review and comment on the new contract prior to being approved. Everybody's input will come in the work session, and the document will be ready in draft to give you plenty of time to review it, to come to the work session with your comments. So, any further discussion? If no further discussion, anything from the, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed say same.
Aye.
Motion did not carry. So we'll, until the contract comes, we'll just be doing what we're doing now. This item was discussed in the past. Gail, go ahead.
The reason that came up was to eliminate the discussion of contract employee versus contract renter. That he would have the right to use that, and he was willing to pay the same amount as was, and then some, as was being charged for the shop. It eliminated having to clarify, and so you were renting him office space based on the square footage comparative to across the road.
And for right now, he is not gonna be required to pay anything between now and the end of the year. It'll be addressed in the next contract.
Okay.
And I'll get your input on that during the conference, so I'm preparing it. Okay, I request a motion for the approval of the new job description for the town manager. That was provided in the last package and in this package, and the title change, the town manager, with subtitles of the position description title would be town manager with subtitles finance officer, economic development, and contract management. Do I have a,
I'll make that.
Yeah, I don't like the term. Why can't we just call it finance officer?
she made a, we'll get into discussion in just a second. Motion was made by Vicky. Do I have a second?
I'll second it for discussion.
Yeah. Linda's, let's get, okay. I guess I will start the discussion and then turn it over to Mitch because he had something. But according to the South Dakota Codified Law 9-2-3, we can have what they call a city manager or town manager.
And so, and
And
that's
I'll
true.
turn it over to you now.
And that's true, and then you have to go to SDCL chapter 9-10,
Yeah.
which encompasses all of the all of the state statutes concerning how a city manager comes to be.
Yeah.
First class, and those statutes are all geared for some reason for just first and second class municipalities, not board of trustees. So it's hard for me to reconcile that statute that you just cited with reference to, because the city manager, I think Sturgis, somebody around here has one. To even have one of those in that size of a community, there has to be a vote of the people to actually have a city manager. And I look at the statutes and a city manager as a CEO of the corporation, and then the board of trustees becomes like a board of directors. That person is above the board of trustees. So and Ben Elliott is our auditor, and I would rather just have the appointment of the finance officer and then describe what that means.
Okay.
So we don't get any confusion about what a city manager is, because it's not, to me, if you're gonna have a city manager or town manager, or whatever, first of all, the public needs to vote on whether that occurs at all.
Okay, and that's in 9-10.
Yeah, there's a lot and read it. I was gonna give everybody a version of it, but, because it addresses appointing a city manager even in an aldermanic form of government or a commission form of government. It only talks about first and second class municipalities, which someday we might be a second class, sooner than we think probably.
Yeah.
But at this point, the statutes under city manager don't include any reference at all to a trustee-run government.
Except for in 9-2-3,
9-2-3, which is a separate chapter.
which says you can do it,
Right.
but then there's no requirement.
Yeah,
There was-
that was enacted in 2000, and the city manager statutes, some of them have come later, but most of them predated that. So the legislature didn't, for whatever reason, hasn't included governments of board of trustees under the city manager chapter, SDCL 9-10. So what we proposed or requested from our auditor was that, okay, because we want to know how we can legally fund the finance officer through a BVV money. And he said that's fine,
Yeah.
just make sure it's in the job description
Yeah.
of the finance officer. So all of these may be good, I haven't gone through them, but I would just call this the finance officer,
Okay.
really. I mean, it's just semantics, but
Yeah.
I don't want to get into a situation because we don't want to have a CEO here,
And I guess the way I was looking at it, and I understand where you're coming from on that, and I agree with you, but kind of what I was thinking is that the town manager would be similar to the superintendent that oversees everything in the school system and make sure everything happens. and what we call it, I guess, we can call it a finance officer, but still have some of these same things, because one of the things I see that, some of the items in the past weren't being covered that needed to be covered, and that's why we wanted to define them out.
And then the finance officer needs to keep a paper trail of how much
Oh,
time
yes,
she's
yeah.
spending on that.
Yeah.
So we don't have a taxpayer lawsuit claiming we misappropriated money from B and B when it should have only been through the general.
It'd just be similar to like, you know, in your law office, I mean, you have, what, 100 different projects, 10 different projects at one time you're working, and you bill separate on each one of them.
Correct.
And then that would be the same process that we
Some
would
get
want to.
billed more than others.
Yeah. Some processes, we'll set up the process such that that's how that will be done, it'll be accounted for. And even though we budgeted for, what, 20%? I think we budgeted for 20% to be covered. If we don't end up doing 20%, well, we can't bill to B&B.
Right.
So it'll be documented and recorded well. I take,
And the other question is, did you want to establish this by resolution or just ordinance? Or I think resolution would be fine.
oh, for the new job description?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you can vote on this for the new job description, just call it new job description for the finance officer, I think we're okay.
And then we'll go back and, do we vote now or do we go back and make the changes and vote in the next meeting?
I would make your changes and come back and get a clean copy and
Yep.
make it at the next meeting.
Okay. So I requested a motion.
Um,
Just a second, go ahead, Dan.
I also, think too, like in that top one where the town manager shall report to the town board president, and I think it should be added and trustees, as what it has been with the finance officer. I like the.
Dan, that's exactly, that verbiage right there came right out of the finance officer's deal.
And I questioned that before too,
Yeah.
but also where the responsibilities with the economic development and where were responsibilities of the contract manager, the abilities for us when we don't have staff, there's no way that that individual is ever gonna be able to handle all these responsibilities. They need to be, I think, in separate entities, and they need to know if we had the separate staff that can also help, as what they do in most office surroundings.
Well, that's one of the things I was trying to look to build a foundation for, was so it would be under one title in these three areas, but in the future, as we grow, as we can afford to hire more people, that those individualized would come out separate.
But if you were putting in for this, Gail, wouldn't you be overwhelmed?
Yeah.
To add all them extra entities in there at this presence, you know, maybe some of them to be determined as a function later on. I mean, you're exactly right on what we had in our old finance officer description, but
Yeah.
some of the others added in, I'm afraid it'd just be a lot of overwhelming.
And one of the reasons we're looking at changing the description is we want to be able to, and this was from Gail, is to actually get the price range up there so we can get someone motivated. And right now, we're short on personnel. Will any of these things be done? Everything is gonna be on priority. What gets done will be on priority. But we need to have them out there and identify that this is where we wanna go, this is what we wanna try to do. And one of the things that, when you're in civil service, is that at the beginning of the year, you had to come up with a plan and say, this is some of the things that I wanna do and wanna accomplish for that next year. And that's something that we need to look into for our employees also, but that's another subject. So right now, we had a motion for it, we had discussion. I'd like to amend that motion to table it until the next meeting. and we'll go back and change it, the letter, to take town manager out of it and call it finance officer, and then define the responsibilities. And then down there, so they don't think they gotta do every one of those things, we could put, these are item, some way put it in there so it's not like, okay, it's mandatory, you gotta get every bit of this done. These are things that we wanna work on and work for. So, go ahead.
Mitch, did you actually say that this has to be in resolution?
That could be either, he said.
Either.
I mean, but either or, I mean, it has to, so what, so in other words,
Isn't a vote a resolution?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we vote on it, it's
Resolutions are motions,
a motion and
or a
vote.
written motion, resolution.
but don't we have to like,
They're the same.
No.
remind me about a resolution, don't we have to,
Has to be
Read that.
read, but a motion is a resolution in and of itself.
motion is a resolution of itself?
I mean, if you look at the case law, they don't differentiate really between the two.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine we've had a written resolution for every vote you guys took?
Right, okay,
No, we can approve it
Okay.
by a vote. Yeah.
okay.
I would make the motion to table this issue till next meeting.
Second.
Motion made by Linda, second by,
Vicky.
Vicky. All in favor of tabling this until the next meeting, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say same. Motion carries unanimous. And I'll work on that based upon your input. I'll get that changed and appreciate your input.
You have to vote on your original motion, yeah?
Yep, and then the original motion to approve it. On the discussion, we came through that we were not gonna approve it. We looking at not doing that. We're gonna table it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Nay. Yeah, you want nay.
Wrong vote.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to vote it down.
I voted aye.
No, that's fine, you
I've got
can't.
to vote aye on several things, no,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you didn't get to vote a couple times, so you gotta get caught up.
So it's
Yeah,
all nays,
yeah, all nays.
motion failed,
Yeah.
okay.
And then what we'll do is we'll leave it on the agenda and then we'll move
Okay,
forward
all
on it.
right, thanks.
Let's see where we're,
Oh my.
old business. I gotta get back to where I was at. Fuel economy. Energy,
H, keep going.
H.
Then
Yeah,
next.
and I just gotta make sure that
Down to,
when I remove stuff down here, I'm not removing H. I don't think I removed anything, okay. Okay, the next item, there was an issue, on the shores, they had a broken electric line out there. And during the construction of the water and sewer line going north, the sewer line specifically, the RCS had, broke the secondary line going to, for the lights and everything, going to powering the storage units. With this last heavy rain and stuff like that, and there's been some settling, but not on ours, in that area, that Mr. Shore came to me and, well, actually came to Vicky, and then Vicky came to me, and then I got with RCS, and they went back and looked through their records and said, yes, we did break it, we had Muth Electric repair it. So what they did is came out, and they had Muth Electric come out and locate the line, and then they did a fault test on it, where they followed the line, and they could tell right where there was no power anymore, where it was broke. And it was good right past our sewer stuff, and it went over and is where the east-west line for Southern Black Hills Water was put in. Right where it started to cross the trench, they must have nicked it there and not noticed it. And then with all this moisture and all this rain, it just burned a section out. And I understand that Southern Black Hills came out after they found out that and did the repair, and they got lights now, so.
Good deal.
So we're, I'd just like to say kudos to RCS, because, they knew they broke it. They felt that they had a requirement to come and check it. Muth Electric, the same thing. They thought it was gonna be a warranty deal. They came out, found out it wasn't. So, happy on that. Item J, in discussion with Wade, there were some concerns about some of the things that were in the easement requirements and stuff like that. And I guess I'd like to request a motion that we just had to go into a work session and do that on 4 October of 2023, to just go back and re-look at those things and make sure that everything that we're supposed to do was done. They also bring up the grass seeding. I don't know if that portion of that contract was signed off, or if it's still open to RCS. I'll be getting with RCS to find out, you know, did they close out? They're not supposed to close out their stormwater pollution, excuse me? They're not supposed to close out their stormwater pollution prevention plan until grass is there. So I don't know if they closed it out. I don't know if the contractor's been relieved. I don't know what ACES has done on that, but I'll look back into that. They definitely want grass growing there and not just weeds. So I just request a motion that we go through both those items but in a work session.
I'll make that with the session being unpaid.
Okay, motion by Vicky, unpaid. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Donna. Any discussion?
I just don't think it's necessary for a motion for this.
I want to sit down and look at it as a team.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
at our next work session, but we don't normally, I think, make motions to put things in or on.
When you have it, you can do different things. When you have it something on the agenda item, as an agenda item, you can vote it up, you can vote it down, you can vote to table it, you can vote to get rid of it, but you have to do something with it when it's on the agenda. And that's why I'm saying we're voting on it according to parliamentary procedures to put it into a work session. Then from the work session, it comes back on to the other.
Well, then I wanted it unpaid, so.
But that was already on the last motion, wasn't it?
It's two different.
Two different
Two
meetings.
totally different?
Yeah, two
One's,
different work
one's the
sessions.
state
Oh,
and one's,
okay.
so you're gonna do a work session the day after the board meeting of in the October?
Yes, that's what I was looking at.
Is that because we think that the work session on the 27th is gonna be that long or that lengthy?
We
that
don't want it
busy?
that long and that lengthy, and that's why we want it separate items. We want to get had them dedicated, so.
And if the work session on the 27th is handled or 26th is handled in a short manner because of this motion, then we can't add another topic of discussion.
I see where you're going.
Okay?
To add to that, Jerry, I'm putting in a lot of hours and
Yeah.
you guys are paying me overtime.
So we maybe so what it is instead of having a separate work session, you want to put it in the same work session.
I mean, I don't want it to be till 11 o'clock either, but
Yeah.
I also think that if we can get through things in a timely manner, we might as well get as much done as we can.
Get it on the agenda, and if we don't
Yes.
get to it, then it'll carry
Yes,
forward. But
agreed.
what you're saying now is that if we schedule it here, we can't have it on the agenda on both. I agree with you on that, so, yep. So, I just heard Linda make a motion, or an amendment to the motion to add it to the 26th work session of September.
And the alternative is the 4th then of October?
Yeah. Okay, we had the discussion. We're voting on the amendment to change it from 4 October to 26 September. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed say same. Motion carries. Now we go back to the original motion. To approve the original motion that we go into a work session to look at the Shorb's easement requirements and the grass. on the construction project. Request a vote on it as amended. All in favor, say aye. Aye. We need to take care of the original motion, and we had an amendment to the motion. No, that's the way it's supposed to be.
I know.
You have a main motion, then you have amendment, and what we did is, we voted on the amendment, which changed it to the 26th, then we go back and vote on the original one that says we're voting on the original one as amended.
And tied together, okay.
Yeah, as
Okay.
amended.
Aye.
Aye.
And nay on mine.
Okay. Motion carries. The next item here, one of the things that we discussed in the last meeting, Linda bring it up, and we wanted to look at this to address part-time employees for vacation time, and also to ensure that even though you work full-time, and if you're temporary, you still get vacation time. I went through and came up with an updated letter based on the last one. One of the things that Gail found out since the last time when she was trying to implement what we approved last time is that we actually have 24 pay periods instead of 26. And so we're got to relook on how G-Works is going to do that, so I'm just going to leave this tabled until the next meeting.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda is Al. Request a motion to change the speed limit on Fairgrounds Place from 15 miles per hour to 25 miles per hour south of the entrance to the town's lagoon. We have a motion on that.
I make a motion that we change it.
Motion made by Vicky. Do I have a second?
Donna,
Or Donna?
I'm Vicky.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
Yes, you seconded.
yes.
Vicky and Donna, okay. I'll start the discussion. This was a request from one of the residents that lives south of the lagoon entrance. I also talked to Ryan. I did put names in here, so I thought, well, should I say names or? But anyway, being Ryan's here, I can say I talked to Ryan. Ryan was one that had the original concern that wanted 15 miles an hour on that street. One of the things that, and I wanted to make sure before we put this on there, that he was happy or satisfied with it being south of, changing the 25 south of the lagoon entrance. And he thought that would be okay. There's one other thing that he bring up also is that the sign is so close to when you first turn off of 40 to get on Fairgrounds Place, you're not even out of the turn and the sign's there, so you're not really maybe looking at the sign, people who haven't drove that much. So I don't know, Chuck, is there a distance from an intersections on signs?
I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, maybe you can look into that. That won't be part of this motion, but it's part of this discussion, but, and then we can find out, maybe we need to move that.
15 feet probably.
Yeah, so we can look at that. But the motion is to change it from 15 to 25. I started some discussion. Any further discussion? Go ahead.
I would have an issue too if it was from 40 all the way through.
But it's not.
There's too many kids
Yeah.
and animals and stuff.
That's why we're leaving it at the,
Yeah, so, yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea.
and I think that's one spot that we might have to talk about with our new town marshal, that they might want to watch that a little bit in that area there. A lot of times you get stuff going on at the fairgrounds and stuff like that, people kind of make a circle and get going a little bit faster than 15 through that housing area, so we just go ahead.
Chuck, do we have any extra 25 mile per hour speed limit signs in storage? Or do I have to order?
Right.
Pardon me?
I think I do, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay, so, any further discussion? All in favor of changing the speed limit south of the lagoon? Oh, go ahead.
So, I think you all know who I am. I'm Ryan.
Yes.
So, there's only 3 houses down there. And if you look at your map, I mean, you're going 15 mile an hour to the edge of the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's gaining 200 feet of 25 mile an hour. When himself and the other two houses that are down there are the ones that are going 40 all the way through there. So after hearing your spiel about the not being able to write tickets in town on side streets,
We're gonna be able to write tickets in town.
so if you want to come hang out with me for a while,
Is that 'cause
Yeah, there's.
Sunday morning, anytime, come on, have coffee.
But I think they wanted it from the fairgrounds south, and I think they wanted it a higher speed limit. And the way I see it, we give that to them, but then once it hit 15, it's 15.
So are they, I mean, I'm not just picking on the three houses that are down there, because there's,
We get a lot of activity around
this
the
whole
fair.
family
Yeah, activity around
is the
fair.
problem, but, and I've stopped them, I've asked them, and it don't matter. So I've gone into the fairgrounds after the leader of the 4-H club and all that. So.
No, it's an area that we need
It
to
don't
look at.
matter, I mean,
Yeah. We need
they
to
all
look
know
at
that the
speeds.
15 mile an hour is there and they're not following it now.
Yeah.
So,
But one thing we don't have though, when we're coming from the south, when you're coming from the south, and you could say, well, they know that it was coming this way, but when you're coming from the south, there's nothing that says that speed, what that speed limit is on that road. That's why we need to, at the fairgrounds, we need to say, at some point, it starts 15. Because they could come back, and I don't know the legalities of that, but when you come onto a road, if you don't see a speed,
School zone, speed limit changes at the sign.
yeah,
If you're doing 30, 5 feet before the 15 mile an hour sign, you're good.
yeah,
Doing 35 feet after it, you're not good.
yeah. But right now, there's not even a sign that tells,
But
coming from
there's
this.
no sign to tell you what the speed limit is coming north on that road.
There
which
isn't.
It is not. Then I have to go by state ordinance, which is 35 miles an hour on gravel road.
Yeah, that's why we need to, that's why
So we
I
need a
feel it's
sign
important to
15
put the
then.
sign in.
even if it's a dead end street and you live on it.
Falls underneath the state ordinance, which is gravel road.
But it's-
Because
but it's
fairgrounds
posted.
place is county, correct?
Go ahead.
Oh,
City.
No, it's city, but then it ends at the end of the alfalfa field. The town city limits, the way I understand it, goes almost to
Van
the,
Sandbeek's place, about 200 feet.
yeah. So,
But I mean, what I'm
Okay, we
saying
got-
is you live on that street,
She-
it's posted going in, it's a dead end road, you know what the speed limit is, right?
Mitch, will it stand up in court if there's no speed limit heading north? You're probably bad, I gotta ask you, so you haven't prosecuted any of those cases. I'm telling you, it won't hold up in court. The judge is gonna ask me where the speed limit sign is, and I'm gonna tell the judge that it is on the southbound side of the road. And the vehicle that I stopped for speeding was traveling northbound, I can articulate they live on that road. They should know it's 15 miles per hour, depending on the judge you get, they'll throw it out. State's attorney probably will not prosecute.
and that's why when we did the new speed limit signs over, on Marie and Walters, is we had them in and out. So, go ahead, and you have more.
Well, if the town owns the road,
We don't own roads,
whatever, okay. It's our responsibility.
we have the right of.
We have the right of way of that road to Mr. Sandbeek's property line.
Yeah.
And so the amount that you're giving them, the extra 10 miles an hour is how many feet? Not very many.
200.
200 feet.
But the thing is, that sets the speed limit for that road all the way to the people's houses, even that past Van Sandbeek's places, because there was not another sign that changed it.
But
So
it's
it-
not our responsibility to change it if we don't have the responsibility of the road.
That's
It's
understandable.
not our decision, it's not our money, it's not
We
any
don't
of
maintain
that.
it.
No, we don't
We
maintain
don't
it
do snow
either.
removal.
No,
It's a
not
private-
from
Not-
that point,
It's a
no.
private road.
Private.
Yeah,
Yes.
we end at, just before Van Sandbeek's
Oh, okay.
property. But we need to have signs
Little
put
square
up.
right behind you, Mitch.
I believe that we need to have a sign going north. That's, absolutely.
Right there,
Yeah.
down at the black line on the bottom, yeah, right there.
we have to have a motion to- for the
And
15
from that-
sign
black line, it's about 200 feet to his
Oh,
driveway.
where somebody lives down here?
Mm, yes, 3 somebodies.
Yeah.
That looks like a private road.
It is after the,
We don't regulate private roads.
we're not regulating private roads, it's still within the town limits.
Oh, okay.
So Mitch, do we need a sign there that says, private road beyond this point, or, something like,
There's already.
there, the sign's
Or
already there?
15 mile an hour facing north.
Face,
So-
definitely need
So
that.
something can be done.
Yeah, definitely need the north sign.
But if we're gonna put a 15, and then that means they can, if we don't put 25 after, we need to know if we're only gonna put the 15-mile-an-hour sign just south of Lagoons heading north, then
Well, I'd put it at that line.
Yeah.
Where your town
yeah,
limit.
that's one of the,
Yeah.
Put it past the town
Mm-hmm.
without the county.
but then I guess what I'm looking at is they changed the speed limit down on Whitney, and a lot of people complained about having to go that slow of speed. Now, the reason we went with 15 down there was because of the children and the fairground stuff. What they're asking is, after that point there where there's not traffic in and out of the fairgrounds, it's past the lagoon where we're going in and out of there, that it be 25 from there on, and then when you're coming in, it would be, when you first get into the, as you're coming from the south, you get to the city limit just a little bit north of Sandbaits, 25 there, and then when you hit the lagoons, it's 25. And that does a couple things, because if we don't show 25 there, they can come, they can be coming in that road to that sign at 40. And it's kind of like, when you look at how I travel on a lot of roads, my travels, is when you come into an area, usually it's a staggered, you have, if you're running 65, then it says 55, then it says 45, then it goes 25. So that's why it'd be good to have the 25 where our boundary is, and then 15, at the lagoon, even though it's not that big of a distance. So people aren't, I guess you could just say, so law enforcement can be sitting there and get them from the 25 to the 15 if they're going over 25. And hopefully that would start slowing them down. But otherwise, they're coming, so go ahead.
Well, they do have a sign at Summit Signs that says, yes, the speed limit is still 15 miles an hour. I thought that was pretty appropriate for some of our areas.
So I guess what we're, the discussion is, where we have them at, do we leave it 15? I guess, kind of like, the way I see it is when we addressed it with Whitney, is that, don't have them go too slow when they're not needed to. That's just like there was discussion one time as to to change where the speed limit changes from 40 for the school, right after you turn on the 40. Well, you don't want to keep anybody any slower than you have to until you want them at that speed. And I don't know, my rationale is maybe they might live that, but if we have the 25 and then later on the 15, if we have them sitting down there, and if they're going over 25 and the 25, but otherwise we don't have anything until they hit 15. And we'd rather get them used to going slower, because when he's not there, like you say, they go through there at 40. And I guess that's what we're trying to do, so.
They go through Ferguson development at 42, so, I don't know if any,
Street.
Is there any further discussion? Thank you, Ryan, for your input. Yep, go
I
ahead.
guess for legal purposes, we kind of need the 25 sign. I think it's kind of crazy to spend that money for 200 feet. But I guess if I live there, I might have an issue with it too. But we definitely need to put the signs going north.
Yes.
For legal purposes also.
Yes.
And,
15 mile an hour.
15, yeah.
At the.
So we would need,
And I think it needs to be, I mean, you can't, like the officer said, it's at the sign. So I think it needs to be, 20 feet past the lagoons or 30 feet past the lagoons, whatever, the turn off there, just for safety purposes, coming in and out of the lagoons, so.
yeah, when
But I
that-
guess
So then, Chuck,
legally,
don't move that sign at the highway. You get 30 feet off of the highway, you better be doing 15.
right,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
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 The sign needs to be moved, that sign needs to be moved, and then we need 3 others, correct?
Well, we would need, going south, we'd need a 25,
Yeah.
that's at, south of Lagoon. And then when you're coming all the way south, when you're coming north, you need a 25 and a
then
15. So we need 2 25s and 1 15.
Correct.
If that's,
I would make that motion.
okay?
To purchase
Second.
If we
So
need to
where are you
purchase
putting
them,
the
I'm
other
hoping we
25
have
now?
them.
You're putting a 25 by the lagoon going south.
South, yep.
Whose jurisdiction is it?
But-
That's us.
But why do we need another 25?
Coming down because you want,
Coming
when you come into
north.
the town, you need to tell them what the speed limit is. Because if you don't have a sign, just like he was
Yeah, they
he was
could be
talking
going
Now
about.
you're
100
talking on
right there.
Highway 40?
No.
No.
I'm talking about,
Fairgrounds
Fairgrounds
Place.
Place.
That's the two that I'm working on.
I'm with you, I don't understand.
I
either.
don't see why you need
You
another
need a 15
25.
and a 25.
You don't need another
You don't need
25.
another 25. Why
Because there
you're
should
gonna
be
go
a
back to
15 up on,
Yeah, but the
by
thing
the
is,
highway.
the thing is
Because we
that,
own that
How many people
property.
are talking?
Okay. Should be a 15 up by the highway. That should be already there. Should be maybe moved back a little ways.
Correct.
And then go down further and there's a 25.
yeah,
Correct.
Okay, so then you're coming back up, you need a 15.
yes. But when you come into this, when you come into the city limits, you need to have a sign there, cause just like, otherwise he can't hold them to 25 there. Because there's a sign from the,
So from Leo Ben's.
can you explain that again, Slade, Mrs. Sir?
Explain to me, Slade, I'm down. I
Okay,
don't see where the other 25 comes in.
See if I can figure it out. I don't know.
Why do you
I
understand?
can.
I don't understand why we need the
only
other
20 now.
25.
Legal.
Because if you don't have the 25, they
Where
can
you
go
putting the other
35.
25?
So right now, we have.
When you come
Right
from the
at
south,
Leo
you
Van
get the city
Sandvik's
limits.
property.
This one goes down further.
They know
This,
what
this is
they
Van
are.
Sandvik's house.
Legally,
Right
you
here.
can't.
This is 200 feet from here to his driveway. This is the city limits line, right there. There's a fence road
Why
right
would
there.
Quiet.
this another
We're
25
discussing.
clear in the hell down there? They're gonna go,
Yeah.
You're signing, if
They're
you
going
wanna
40
sign-
through here now.
I don't know the legality of signing speed limits outside the city's jurisdiction, but,
Right on the
Put
property
a
line.
15.
but you need a 15 here showing the speed limit of this road coming in.
Right.
If you're gonna mandate the speed outside the city town limits,
No,
then you would put it right here.
no.
right, that's a 25.
And that'd be a 25. And then on the other side of the road, you need a 15 for the northbound
Right.
traffic, telling them that this is
But
over
I don't
right
see
here is
where
a
we
15
need
mile
one
an hour
down, clear down here that says 25.
No, 'cause it's not our property.
You
I
can't put
mean,
one down.
am
I was thinking that we're,
No, you're right.
I don't
You
see
need a
where we
15
need
you
the
need to
other
put a 15
25.
in.
but we, the
Inside
city
this
owns
line.
property
Right.
south, the city
Facing
owns,
north.
25 south.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Or nothing.
like he said, you can't mandate this,
I
right?
No.
I don't
No.
believe you
Right,
can.
so why
You
would
can't-
we
if
put
you-
another
if you-
sign there?
if you, that is actually, according to Leo, in the city limits.
What is?
Here's your line right there.
I know, but he says it
We need to
is,
do
It's
maps.
not.
yeah,
It's
The
not.
way
It
this map
lines
is-
up with Ferguson Street right there. There's a fence
That's your
line
city
there.
yeah.
There's a fence
And
line
this
there
is
for
what
a
I've been
reason.
using.
But he said that alfalfa was, when, that alfalfa field in that one annexation was,
That's right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
there's
is
that
the
big
alfalfa.
alfalfa field.
This is where his bulls always run,
okay, where's the, you driving into the lagoon at?
right here.
Yeah,
There.
so that's what I'm looking at is when we come,
Actually, right off the edge of this street.
yeah. See, what I'm looking at,
That's where the
What he
manholes
was
are, right,
asking.
Chuck? Is right off the end of that street?
yeah.
Had to ask.
And then anyway, when you're coming, this is city here.
Yeah, I'd put your 15 here. They can do whatever the hell they want down here.
When they're
And
coming
they can
back,
quit coming
they
by
just
my
need to
house
know
at
by
4.
the time they get back on there, they gotta be going 15.
But what they requested though,
It's,
you know, we gotta look at trying to satisfy everybody. Is
Oh, you're
that
not gonna
with-
satisfy everybody's.
no,
Well, when you come
Yeah, I
here,
think it's
they
always
would-
some
their
money buying
request
another
was to-
$25 speed limit.
they want 25 clear up to here.
No, they want
They want it from here down.
where you go into Lagoon. Yeah.
That's right
And
here.
there's nothing, there's no off ramps here on either side.
You got too much, Bill, you gotta leave.
Thanks,
Wyoming's
Bill.
driveway is straight off at the end of that street,
Yeah.
and so the lagoon's right here.
And this is in the city, and that's where I'm saying, if we show 25 there, so we want
Extra
25.
25.
To 15.
And I don't care if it was 25 from here down, I'm just saying, your city line is down. here.
Right, exactly.
But,
What they want to do, they want to have a higher speed limit to the point of where the
Well-
lagoons are.
about right here is where they want it to.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna get that. So,
Well, that's what they have now, because half the time we don't stop for the stop sign.
yeah, well, that's another subject for another time, so.
That's subject.
So now what did we decide?
You sign it and he and I is gonna talk.
Nobody stops at the stop signs over there.
I struggle with one stop sign over there.
We have to have a sign going north.
Yes.
And so you
That
either,
says 15.
well,
Right.
But what the public requested down there was that it be 25 at the city limit until we get to the lagoon. And then at the lagoon, it becomes 15. And that way, that's what was requested. Then when you're coming down, it's 15 down to the lagoons, and there'll be a 25 going that way. So we do have control of that section. Yes, go ahead, sir.
The only people that I haven't heard a comment from is whoever maintains that gravel road, because I would think raising the speed limit 10 miles per hour would also increase the maintenance required for that section of road that the town
Yes.
will bear.
You know who maintains it?
we do. It's our road.
Brent Nagenbar, he was shoveling gravel in the potholes for the last, well, all weekend.
It's pretty bad down there.
Well, it's pretty bad in front of my house too.
Yeah.
If they weren't doing 40, 50 mile an hour past my house, they wouldn't be having the potholes they have.
Well, a lot of that comes from the fairground people, horse trailers and stuff.
There's that too.
I do agree. I think it's stupid.
So I guess,
I'm not throwing wrenches, but I'm just saying, we haven't heard from the people that gotta maintain the road and spend the city, the town's money to fix the road, and increase the speed limit by 40%.
I think we have we'll have a more, I just feel we'd have a more realistic
Where the 15 ends.
chance to get them to go 25 till the 15. Otherwise, they're gonna be going 40
Well,
across
that's what I
that.
mean. Why, I mean,
Yeah, I know.
So,
And how, but it might be difficult, more difficult for you to have the difference for that 200 feet. That,
no, it depends on where he sets up. You can see it.
The difficult part for me is
Yeah,
the
that's-
time
I
of day
think
that I need
that's
to be there,
dumb.
because I can't be in two places.
at one time, yeah. Gotcha.
And that's what all the speeding in town is, it's that time, so. Well, with no further discussion,
Oh, I know what time.
what,
yes, do you have
what
any more discussion?
What did we decide?
There has been no, it's been, we've discussed it.
Yeah, it's
and
been
there's-
discussed.
And there's no amendment made to change from what the original motion was. So if we voted now after discussion, we would be voting on that the speed limit, sign would be,
Yeah.
going north would be at the lagoon. And the other going north sign would be at the city limits, it would be 25. So it'd be 25 from there to the lagoon. And then when you're going south, you have the 15 up by 40, and then you have the 15 going south, or you have the 25 going south at that point.
Okay, but the only one that's benefiting by putting this 25, who's benefiting by it? Van Sandbeeks, Cheryl.
Brent.
I think it's just a stupid sign to put there.
But the thing is, we put 15 there, and
Well, we'll put 15 here.
But
So
there's
then you're
200.
giving them permission to do 100 mile an hour on our road.
Yeah.
yeah, he
Well,
can't,
you know,
he can't.
technically.
If he
So
stops them,
exactly where's
they
it
get
gonna
35.
go? I mean, clear down in Cheryl's yard?
No, we don't care what they
It's
do
city
on their
limits.
land.
It's
It's
city
our
limits,
land.
it'll go at city limits. The 25 will start at city limits.
And actually, where is the city limits down?
Just a little bit up from Van Sandvik's garage, or driveway. And then the lagoon is about the equal distance up from there, right?
Okay.
I mean, I guess I don't, what I'm trying to do is, appease them
Right, that's
to
what you're
give,
doing.
them a little bit, because if we don't give them a little bit, and then they're gonna get a ticket, and then they're gonna be complaining that, well, hell, that's 15, why does that have to be 15 there? No, they came and asked it to be 25 until it's 15. And now we catch them going over that, and then we say, they can't complain. They asked for it.
That's a good point.
I call for a vote.
Yep, we'll go for the vote.
Thank you, Jesus.
Call the question.
Call the question. Okay, all in favor of the motion to request a change to the speed limit on Fairgrounds Place from 15 to 25 south of the entrance to the lagoon? It would require 3 signs. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
Dan says nay, so,
I'll say nay too.
yeah, okay.
I mean, Van Sandbeek has a say, and I think I should too.
Oh, that's good. No, what we're trying to do is satisfy, just like when you had concerns that it needed to be 15 and it came 15. And yeah, I'm just, we need to enforce it. I agree with you 100%. It needs to be enforced. But we want to take wiggle room out of them and complaint area out of it. You know, they ask for 25, we give them 25 up to that certain point.
Change it.
Done deal, let's
If
go.
he's not patrolling it, I will, and they're not gonna like it.
Anyway, okay, motion
Wait till the signs
carried.
are posted.
There is 4 in favor and 1 nay.
Okay.
The next agenda item is, there was 3 different places that had the newsletters, and they all stated that they had extras. I request a motion to decrease the number of Hermosa newsletters being printed from 250 to 200.
I make a motion, we do that.
Motion made by Donna,
Second.
second by Vicky. And I guess I'll just start the attention. It was brought to my attention that there had been many extras this last month. People even commented that, you know, the extra ones are taken home and using for fire starting. And it is money if there's gonna be extra. I just see that we take it to 200, and if people come back and say, oh, I didn't have enough, then we'll raise it back up again. But, just to bring it down for now, because between the 3 different people, there was about that number of copies that were left, so. Any further discussion? I just opened it. Yeah, I gotta wait, just a second, John. We gotta see if the board has any discussion.
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Joan, can you put something in your newsletter asking how many people are interested in subscribing via email, whatever, over the internet, and or subscription, and if they would be willing to pay for it, where it could be mailed to them at their cost?
I can do that, but I'm gonna tell you right now, a mail subscription is gonna be a lot of work for someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That would
Well,
be,
it's just a thought.
I would say, they either get it electronically, or if they're out, they're out. And I would say, if you're having leftovers, whatever businesses have leftovers, don't give them so many. Tell them to take 2 or 3 and come back if they need more. Generally, I only take them to BJ's and to Pops.
yeah, they get it other places too.
Oh, I understand that.
They do, but
But
I'm just
that
saying if they
wasn't
come in here.
my
asking for 'em,
reasoning. There
don't
was
give 'em
another
so many
reason.
if they have leftovers. I don't have a problem with cutting back on that if we're wasting them.
Yeah, and that's just what we're like do, and then if, you know, people start saying, well, there wasn't one left for me, well, then we'll look at something, so. Okay, so, motion was made,
Add that in there.
Thank you.
motion was made and seconded to take it, from 250 to 200, we had discussion.
I have one more.
Yes, go ahead.
Do we need a motion on that? Is that not something we can just use as common sense?
There was a motion made to fund them for 250, print 250.
Okay,
There was a
gotcha.
motion made, and so there we have to have a motion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha, thank you.
Yep, thank you. You keep me straight here, so. So anyway, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
Dan's opposed. And 4 yeas, 1 nay. Okay. The next item is O, the second reading.
And
No,
Oh, yeah, and camera systems and.
Oh, and camera systems. I request a motion to have Gail research new town office camera systems that are more user-friendly and dependable. Do I have a motion?
Yeah.
Motion made by Vicky. Do I have a second?
Yep.
By Donna. I guess I can start the discussion on it. I know from kind of experience when I came up here and tried to get some items on the dumpsters. This is back even when Jill was here, the cameras, well, would be broke down, they wouldn't work. So the dependability on them is an issue. I think you have 2 right now that are out that we need to have replaced. And there was just other ones replaced before that. That's not, the dependability is not there. And then also the friendliness of it. Looking at her, I know that there's better systems out there where you can go right to where there was motion. You know, this is a motion, this is a motion. On this here, you just gotta kind of travel all the way through it. She has a hard time finding some of the things that we needed to find to see who was dumping in the dumpsters, so.
Because you have to sit and watch the whole video.
Yeah, you gotta watch the whole thing instead of being able to go, like, I bring to her 2 different times a specific date and time. Well, a lot of systems, you can just go and boom, put that date and time in there and that comes up right there. This, you had to start and just watch the whole video. So we're looking at something, see if we can find something a little bit more dependable and user-friendly. Any further discussion, I'll open it up to the board.
Good idea.
Linda?
it's another thing I don't think needs a motion. I think that when you have time, if you would do that, it would be beneficial to the board and to the town.
I second that motion that Linda just made.
No motion, just a comment.
That was a comment. Anytime we have an item on the agenda,
Yeah, well, we know.
you have to have a
that.
motion to know what you're
It's
gonna do.
getting late, you know.
Yeah,
you
I
get
understand,
silly.
But, okay, so I think we did vote on it, right? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say same?
Yep, I said aye.
All right, okay. Motion carries. Now, the second reading.
Town of Hermosa Ordinance 2.076, an ordinance appropriating funds for the fiscal year 2024, Section 1, be it ordained by the Town of Hermosa that the following sums are appropriated to meet the financial needs of the municipality for the fiscal year 2024. General government with revenue, general government sales taxes $283,000, property tax is $63,095. Other miscellaneous taxes, $150. Licenses are $3,750. Permits are $2,300. State shared is $5,050. County shared is $12,200. Animal licenses $1,200. Interest miscellaneous donations is $9,500. Rentals is $9,800. Liquor operating is $35,900. Garbage collection is $55,920. For a total of $481,865. Water is, operating revenue is $187,000. The surcharge revenue is $4,600. Miscellaneous revenue is $16,500. Transfers in are $5,759. For a total of $213,859. For sewer, The operating revenue is $109,000. The surcharge revenue is $4,700. A transfer in for to sewer is $3,187 for a total of $116,887. Debt service is from property tax is $84,600, and penalty, interest, and other taxes is $303 for a total of $84,903. Gross receipts is from sales tax is $15,000, and for a total revenue of $912,514. Section 2, the following designates the fund or funds to which the money derived from the following sources is applied. Town board is $29,868. The election board is $1,215. Finance office / administration is $143,557. Street department is $56,607. Garbage collection is $52,387. Law enforcement is $100,805. Attorney is $30,000. Engineering is $55,000. Building inspector is $1,000. Government buildings is $2,480. Transfer out is $8,946 from the general fund. The water expenses we're estimating $213,859. The sewer expenses are $116,887, and debt service is $84,903. And gross receipts is $15,000 for a total of $912,514 for a balanced budget. Section 3, there is hereby levied upon all taxable property within the town of Hermosa for the fiscal year 2024 a tax sufficient to raise the following funds: for the general fund, $73,000. Section 4, the town finance officer is hereby authorized and directed to certify said tax levy to the Custer County Auditor of Custer County, State of South Dakota, to the end that the same may be spread and assessed as provided by the law. And I have it dated this 27th day of September 2023 because that's the date that it will be published in the Custer Chronicle newspaper.
I request a motion to approve the ordinance 2.076, appropriating funds for the fiscal year of 2024. Motion made and seconded by Linda. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say same. Motion carries unanimous.
Isn't it a conflict with Public Works with Donna being able to vote on the budget? With
No,
her
I
husband
don't.
being involved in it, and her contributions of water, sewer,
We-
streets?
I don't think that gets pretty convoluted.
No, that's
I don't
not.
think so.
No.
My opinion.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we're clear.
And I agree with Mitch, so. Okay. The next item, I would like to request a motion to have the town marshal manage his own budget starting 1 January 2024 based upon the budget we was just approved, and only come to the board if he needs something not covered under one of the line items, or if he needs to move money from one line item to the next, or if he needs more money. May I have a motion for that? What's that?
Those next two items aren't on the agenda.
I was just having it under, I was just gonna have it under, you know, I was having it part of the budget. We approved the budget. Approved the
okay.
budget and then anyway.
I would prefer if it was put on next meeting's
Okay,
minutes.
yes, we got plenty of time. We'll move that to the next meeting.
Yeah, thank you, Jerry. I
Plenty of
Sorry
appreciate
to
that.
interrupt you.
No, that's fine, that's fine.
And how did the vote go on the budget then? Because I voted nay.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
Did
you
you get
did?
that?
No, I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah,
That's why we need to vocalize loud.
which
So
I did, and then I raised my hand.
I'm sorry, I did
Yep,
not
you're
even,
fine.
thank you.
So that there, we don't even look at, we'll just put on for the future agenda, we'll put on the thing about the marshals.
Okay, all
managers
right.
and budget. Thank you very much.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, I was just looking at putting that as part, we approved the deal, so I was just going on, so that's good. Okay, now I request a motion to remove agenda items, which ones did I, yeah, 14C, D, G, H, I, K, L, M, N, and O.
Did you include B also?
Uh,
Didn't you say you were gonna
You didn't say.
remove that also?
You know, Dan, you brought up a good point there, I wanted to say, but the point is when any money, financial matters come up with regards to Chuck, that'll be where she has to abstain. Not on this is just a budget, this just says what we think.
So generally.
Yeah, when it comes time to
generally
approve the
it's okay,
contract, she'll
it's
have to
just
abstain. When it comes time to discuss the contract.
Specifically,
Yeah.
she can't vote on contracts, pay.
So then it should work the same way for me with P and Z.
It does.
Generally, I can vote on anything other than the money? Is that how that's gonna work?
Whatever you're getting paid.
I'm not, and my husband does.
Yeah, but that's where you have a conflict, just like Chuck gets paid from the town.
You've been honoring that.
I've been not voting on
Right, I
anything,
know you've been honoring the conflict,
yes.
so I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Jan, for bringing that up. B,
Can I say, we already, you.
Oh, we
you
already made a
removed
motion
that
to
one.
remove B by
That
itself.
one by itself, yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, we did.
because we had to do something with that agenda item at the time,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, all right.
So it's 14C, D, G, H, I, K, L, M, N, and O.
Excuse me.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by
Linda?
Linda,
I'll second it.
second by Vicky. Just takes me a little time to think. And Betty, quit laughing. Any further discussion on it? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say same. Motion carries unanimous. The next item is 15, item from citizens. And this is a time for members of the public, citizens, business owners, and those living within the 1 mile radius of the town limits to express concerns or discuss issues having relevance to the town. Anyone wishing to address the town board during this time shall raise their hand and be identified, and they can speak. Anything from the citizens? Joan?
I would just like to thank Officer Heath for agreeing to be traffic control at our walk to school and going this step further by having the fire department involved, and they will also help. So, thank you.
Any other items from the citizens? Next item is trustee input. Dan?
I just wanna apologize to the citizen who brought up about the mower last meeting. And that I'm sorry I accused him of using the town property, I was mistaken. I tried to get Chris's number to personally tell him that also, and I would still like his number to be able to apologize to him, so.
I know you'll appreciate
Other than that, thank you for all of the night of the good output and meeting, and appreciate it.
Linda?
Thank you. Thank you for letting me sit during the.
Donna?
I'd like to thank Dan for, I will be glad to give you my son's phone number, and I know he will appreciate that.
Thank you.
Vicky?
I had a couple things.
Yes.
I'd like to point out that when I was on the board prior, with the previous board, My lack of explanation was due to oppression that was frequently inflicted, and I came to a point where I did not give my opinion and justify my voting because it just was slam dunked into the ground. I don't feel that's been done to Dan, but I'd like to point out, I'm trying to move on. It's the last time I'll mention it, and that's the end of that one. When it comes to people discussing Chuck and the use of the kitchen, that was an effort to try to end that discussion, so until his contract comes up, I'd appreciate not hearing any more discourse about that. And my last thing, it's entirely up to Gail, but I think she should be able to come in at noon tomorrow and leave the office closed, pending her opinion of what she wants to do. She's exhausted.
I cannot.
You cannot.
Well, then you should leave early.
You should leave early, or,
I cannot.
okay. The option is there.
Thank you.
Should you choose to use it but I mean, that hasn't been voted on by the board, but that's how I feel.
Thank you. I cannot.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
You guys have all offered, there's really actually not, no, there isn't. Mm-mm.
I
Thank you. I'm
helped doing her
serious.
meeting minutes.
Yeah, seriously, I really appreciate that, but the phone, it's funny, the phone hasn't really been ringing a lot lately, and that's kind of a load off of me a lot. I am still getting help from Jill and Monica both, so that's really
That's
been
wonderful.
wonderful. Jill is gonna come in tomorrow night and help me figure out how to do penalties with the new program, and then she's also gonna come in on Saturday morning and help do the run on the utility bills. I can do quite a bit of it before she gets in here, but I don't know how to get the bills run, and so, you know, there's still a few hours that I'm getting out of those too. But I really appreciate you all offering that, but I don't think I can, I don't need it right now.
If you do.
Yeah,
We're all here.
yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
So, drop a phone call.
Can I'm sorry.
Do you want to add?
I would like
To
to
you,
add,
trustee input,
I
yes.
forgot. I see that the four of you have a different set of agenda kind of
And you can have a
available
copy.
to you, and I
You can
would
have
like
a-
a copy
yep.
also.
What it is when
I know what it is, I just
it's my
wanted-
script.
Yes, I understand that, I just, it went from you having it to, you know, and as long as,
We requested and.
yeah,
They
I
requested it.
would like her that
And again,
also.
Dan, would you like to have a copy of my script
No,
too?
that's okay.
Thank you.
Gail had said that it really helps her
Yeah, oh, I can see
because
this.
she gets what the original motion is in written.
Yep.
And it gives
I
a
can
place to
understand.
write everything. And that's what my $600 class told me to do, is do a script, so.
Thank
I
you.
guess my input then is I want to thank the community for being here. I want to thank the board members. I really appreciate it when the board member, into his example, when Linda come up and says, well, what about this or what about that? I really appreciate that input, input from Donna and Vicki, and input from Dan, and then also input from Mitch. Keep us out of trouble, and I appreciate that. Now, request a motion to enter into an executive session at 9:12,
I'll make that.
and it's for legal and contract.
I'll second that.
I'm good.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say
Good night,
same.
everyone, thank you.
Good night, everyone.
What time did you say?
9:12.
9:12.
Thank you.
No, you're, and I can email this to you. And seconded by Vicki to come out of executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say same.
I'd like to make a motion that we submit a $500 admin cost to Mr. Scott when he comes in Friday.
For the subpoena, response to the subpoena that use is taken.
Dan made the motion. Do I have a second?
Sure.
Linda seconds it. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say same. You have another motion to do, Dan?
I have to unlock the door.
Oh, yeah, and see if anybody's still out.
Okay.
Yeah, we should actually, if there's somebody out there, then we'll have to tell them what the motion was.
Second motion was to read as adjournment.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. But we need to see if, was anybody out there?
Nobody's on.
Okay, thank you.
9:46.
Motion made by Dan to adjourn, there's second by Linda.
Sure.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say same. Meeting adjourned.
Thank
Again,
you.
thank you, everybody. Thank you for you guys' input. I understand what some of your
Mitch?
concerns are, Dan, and I'm definitely fighting them.